Oh,
Oh,
you can
you just
switch.
switched?
Yeah, I switched. Am I?
Tyria makes me look silly, guys. Tyria just switches and doesn't tell me, and then I look like a baboon.
I
I
did
look
say
like an
something.
absolute fool.
I, oh, what? Okay, there we go. My mic was extremely loud, and it should have not been that.
Tyria, you blocking my chat, damn it.
I can't help that. I have my chat is like at the top of our screen, so it doesn't
No,
block
it's
any of
okay,
us.
because I'm also blocking my own fucking goals, so it's a mystery what anyone is doing and saying.
Yeah, it's us doing things that ain't. That's not a thing that
we
we
don't
do.
we don't do things except make it to the peak.
Yeah, like we did last night. Also, what? Where are you? Mal, thank you for the gifted subs. Oh my god, Cosmo, thank you for the wow. This is a random wow.
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 Anyways, welcome back to episode. Oh, I got the googly eyes. Oh, they went away
Oh!
as quickly as they came. I might need to fix that.
Da googly eye.
Yeah, for 2.5 seconds. Hey, I got most of my redeems fixed, so all of them
Hey,
should be working, at
you had
least.
ample time in our flawless peak run yesterday.
Yeah, I
Ample
was
time.
like, yeah, yeah. This while I was dead, I was just chat probably couldn't see most of our gameplay because I was just on a pause screen just fixing my stuff. Why does
Fire.
it keep disappearing?
Da
Well, they
googly
work with this,
eye.
but they keep disappearing. What the hell? You can't hear KT. That's not a good thing. Why can you not hear KT? KT, say something.
Something. On your end? Please say
I
it's not on
believe
my
so.
end.
It shouldn't be on your end, and they're saying it on mine, so it's a me thing. Is it muted?
I can't hear Tyria, KT. No. They can't hear you.
They can't
Speak.
hear me.
They
Hello?
can't hear
My,
you.
hey. Oh, you're saying you can't hear, you can't, oh, they can't hear you. They can't hear me on your end. Yeah, they can't hear me. Oh no.
That's weird.
Yeah, because I was about to say, is it me? I shouldn't be having it. I got my audio mixer up.
Hang on.
Everyone should be able to hear stuff.
No, I'm a grade A breaker of things.
Dang, I haven't even asked. Oh. I wonder
Speak.
why my, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Hello,
Oh, I haven't
hello,
had to
hello?
set up my Discord audio for fucking ever.
Oh no. Is that the reason?
No, like, I don't know why it's just spontaneously not set up.
Oh. Oh, no wonder my googly eyes aren't working. Well, they are working, but I now see why they didn't stop after 3. Okay. Yeah. All should be working for Thank you for the alert, Cosmic. Alright, all redeem should be working on my end. I had them on like my VTube studio thingy because for some reason Mixup was being dumb last night, but we got it.
Okay, speak.
I got bonked. Hello.
Dude, I'm gonna crash the freak out.
Oh no.
What is wrong? Hang on.
When you click on like the little audio mixer gear, is like Discord on like monitor off or like input and output?
It's on monitor off.
Try putting try doing monitor and output to see what happens.
Speak.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
No, it's
Hello.
not functioning. What did I
What
break?
the
How did I
hell?
manage?
This is weird because we were all in a VC last night. It was working fine.
This has never happened.
Maybe you gotta do a new audio source.
I tried that.
Oh.
Hang on, let me alt F for my Discord.
Yeah, maybe that's what gotta happen. Oh no.
Or let me task manager close it. I'll be back.
Yeah, okay. We just can't hear KT at the moment. We're getting audio issues on his end. CofeeDate will start when we get this resolved. But how's everyone's day so far? I hope everyone's having a good day. I was too busy like fixing stuff and rearranging things. I did a bit of decorate. You got paid tonight. Oh, is that why you gifted me subs then? You gonna be joining us for Helldivers on Sunday? I gotta download Helldivers and make sure it works on my end. I'm gonna probably try to do a test stream probably tomorrow or Saturday.
Oh.
Oh?
I see it. It's reacting now. It should work. Speak.
Hello, 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 hello.
We should be good. I don't know why I had to alt F4ing fucking or task manager ending it fixed it.
Maybe
I just really wanted to show up to your coffee date and break shit immediately.
maybe it had to do with like you open like a lot of applications at once. I know that happens sometimes, and like some things will just take 50 years to like work.
Or maybe when I changed the battery in my headset, maybe something fucked up because it had disconnected for a sec. Maybe the audio fucked up. I don't know. We're fixed now. Hi, chat.
Yay! Yippee! Now, I was gonna do the intro. Okay. So everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Coffee Dates with Tyria, where we talk about random shit in a little magic coffee shop. So I got KT here. Would you like to introduce yourself to my viewers?
Hello, I'm KT or Truffles. I respond to both, or K Truffles, whichever. I'm a trans mask, variety, cozy chaos, but mostly chaos streamer. I've been streaming for a little over a year, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's my intro. Oh, Rin! Thank you for the sub. Hi, Rin.
All right, I'm so glad to have you here. All right, so let's start interrogating each other. Let's start getting to know each other.
Each other? Was I supposed to prepare questions?
You don't have to, but if you have any questions, you can ask me.
You know, I'll play it by ear. Maybe one of your questions will inspire me to pick your brain.
Yeah, I know. Like my first episode, I guess my first episode of restarting Coffee Dates, my first guest also had questions for me. So I was like, oh, this is surprising. Usually people don't do that. And
Yeah,
that makes me happy. It's okay. That's why I prepare some. So that's offhand.
So we can, yeah.
Yes, we can, yeah. All right, so my first question. So let's start with the basics. How did you get into streaming in the first place?
Well, you see, my fiance originally was the streamer of the relationship, and he streamed like Minecraft and stuff like that, and I modded for his chat. And I did that for like a year and stuff like that, and then he kind of stopped streaming, and I kind of missed doing Twitch things. And then after that, I had like an old friend who had gotten into VTubing, and you can see, actually don't go see, but they're on my IRL.
Like, don't go see.
Don't actually go check, but just take my word for on my like IRL TikTok where I do truffle face reveals, because that's not a secret at all. You can see stuff from like 2022, 2021, like years ago. Me just constantly posting, being like, sigh, if only I had the courage to stream. It's so scary. Sigh. And I did this song and dance. And I did this song and dance for like entirely too long
And they were
until
like, they just got tired of it.
yeah, they just got tired of it. So my friend was like, okay. Well, first someone else, like online friend, came to visit, and they sat their happy ass at my PC and set up my like OBS to stream. And so there are some really fucking old streams in like 2023 before I like officially started where I wouldn't plan anything. I would just be playing a game and then I just turn like live and then I like just stream random shit and I turn it off and it was completely scuffed. But then after that, like 2024, a different friend got into VTubing and was like, let me set you up the proper way. So they set me up. They started streaming with me. Originally, I never streamed like alone because I didn't know how to talk to people, and I still don't, but that's okay. But it was basically just a pipeline of friends and my fiance all being streamers until they finally were sick and tired of me complaining about not being one. So they said, okay, let's fix that.
They say, okay, we're sick of you, bitch, and let's just set you up so you can stall.
Like, all right, like you, like it's so simple, just stream. And I'm like, no, I can't. They're like, okay, well now you don't have a choice.
It's either you stream or shut up.
That's your option. They were like, you will become a streamer.
It's just like that little Mr. Peabody like little gif when he's hypnotizing someone. You will become a streamer.
You want to be a VTuber so badly. There's no drama, I promise.
You want to
so
be a
nice.
content creator and make money while gaming.
You want this.
Oh, no, there goes the googly eyes on the boobs.
Ooh! Wait, we gotta get you your... Hang on. Oh.
No, are you gonna put the little repent thingy on me?
I absolutely am gonna put it on both of us. You can prepare. You don't worry. You can prepare your next question. Let me just.
All right.
Dot you with important patch.
All right. For my next question. So since like your friends finally got you started doing like VTubing and being a creator, how was streaming? How was your streaming journey? How was your streaming journey starting out like over time? Like in like big shifts in style, content, or like mindset? What the? Something glitched out in front of my face.
I think it was me putting the patch on you. Non-consensually patching you. Oh, I shrunk myself. Originally, so the first, I don't remember what I played for my very first stream. It was probably Overwatch or something. Like originally, I would only ever stream with people, because I felt super awkward reading chat out loud and being like, "Hey, chat," if someone did pop in or whatever. It was a lot of mainly Overwatch and prioritizing games that made me comfortable. I didn't want to play anything new starting out because I was so stressed as is, like trying to balance the reading the chat and technical difficulties, which I still can't fucking get right clearly. And all this.
We totally didn't spend the first 15 minutes trying to figure out the audio.
Yeah, we totally didn't spend the first 15 minutes of our coffee date trying to get my Discord to work. So originally, my first playthrough, I guess let's play, whatever you want to call it, I did Spyro because that's just like a nostalgic game for me. They remastered it and I know that game like the back of my hand, so I didn't have to be stressed. I could do that game with my eyes closed. So like ideally starting out, it was a lot of do what makes me feel comfortable in gaming, and then as I've gone on, now I can like branch off and do things that aren't really popular. I think starting out, you're kind of forced in a position if you want to gain any traction of playing games that are more popular, more niche and stuff like that. So that's what I did because like I wanted to be successful because I know that if I didn't like get some level of success starting out, I can be really hard on myself. So it was a lot of niche games, playing with friends and stuff like that until I was comfortable reading chat. And then after that, now I do things like be a fish on stream, and it's awesome. It was a lot of I don't know. I don't think in my original streams you really got a full feel for my personality because I was playing it safe kind of deal.
You're like dipping your toes in the water to see if you liked it or
Dipping my
not.
toes. I would consider myself, I started out a little more cozy because I was scared of the chaos, but now I'm just a chaos gremlin.
I think with me like starting out as a VTuber, there was so much scuff because like my streaming setup was very it was something. I used to stream on a laptop.
Yeah, I was lucky that I still use the same PC that I like started out with. And so like quality wise, it wasn't bad. I didn't have all the like extra fun stuff. I mean, I started out as a PNG tuber, but I also started like pre transition kinda. I was using any pronouns at the time, and now we know I'm a he they user. So like my original design, a friend made it, and the friend didn't even know that I was questioning. They thought, and still think, that I was
Oh no.
that's a conversation for another day. But they made my first reference sheet, so I mean, I don't know if you've seen my first reference sheet, but it's like I tried to like be like androgynous, and it still came out very feminine, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. So early Truffles streams, the character was much more. It was like feminine, non-binary leaning, I guess, whereas now I definitely lean more masculine. I still started out cottagecore, mushrooms and stuff like that. That stayed the same. But now we just have slides of scuff with every stream.
I think with me, besides me being a space elf, that was literally just fucking it when I first started. I don't have any lore behind my character. Just a space elf who plays game.
Lore. I'm just a little lad. I'm just a little guy.
I finally wrote like lore of like what last year. I finally came up with something. Now I'm excited to like. Oh yeah.
Duck Detective. That's true. I did play Duck Detective.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of Duck Detective. I don't think so.
That's a story.
Oh no, not the story.
You're a duck and you're a detective, and that's the story. But yeah. Originally, I felt like scuff was like a bad thing. I think when I started off, like not knowing what was happening was like a bad thing. So I tried really hard to, I guess, always do it right, because I didn't know that there's like, it's not really like black and white with streaming. There's not like a right. Like there's etiquette and stuff like that. But I tried to do everything like so cut and dry and correct and stuff like that. And if something wasn't working, I would like feel so defeated. Oh my god, roll off, hang on. I would feel so defeated after stream if something didn't work, even if I like got it resolved. Ha. Anyway, so I think since going on, I just like I actually enjoy it more the longer that I do it, because I don't take like I'm not so hard on myself. I think the like community that I'm building, we're all just silly goofy guys, so when something doesn't work, no one's like butthurt about it. We all just kind of like laugh and poke fun and make jokes about it, which is great. So I think the biggest change from starting out to now is just being able to lean into the goofy of it and just know that not everything's gonna work all the time, and that's okay. And honestly, sometimes it just enhances shit.
Yeah, I've had times where like stuff would just refuse to work, and I would like earlier on I would be so disappointed, like how come I can't figure this out. Nowadays I'm just like, all right, fuck it. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna just turn it off and then we'll just do it.
This whole stream.
Yeah. I either just like end stream and then just restart to see if it works again, or if it doesn't work, but it's gonna just have to deal with it. It's gonna be silent stream because thing didn't want to work, and I don't feel like we're wasting time fixing it.
I have grown though in knowing how to fix some things. I didn't know how to update my drivers when I started, so like, hey, progress.
Oh yeah, like when I built my PC to finally start having slideshow streams as my daily content. My cousin helped me find out how to update my drivers when I finally got it built and ready, because everything was working besides me not knowing why. What is it, Windows? Yeah, when Windows wasn't installing, I needed help with that, but everything else worked. This thing has not exploded, not yet.
Dude, I'm surprised mine hasn't exploded. I cleaned it for the first time. I didn't deep clean it, but I cleaned it in any capacity for the first time this year, and I've had it for 5 years. And let me tell you, you ever heard of the Dust Bowl? Because it was that in my house.
Oh
it
my
was like
God.
fucking insane.
I'll have to. I gotta clean mine.
I should have got coffee. That would have been on a break. All right, pot. No, it's okay.
Well, you got iced coffee on my end.
That's true. I got a peppermint mocha with a bunny in it on mine.
Oh yeah. I think me and you both have iced coffee. Then you have pudding on my. You have like a dish of pudding on mine, and I got like a.
Yeah,
strawberry.
Terry had to remove the pastries that were in front of me because they weren't gluten-free, so now I have pudding.
Yeah. I was like, well, damn, I didn't know you can't eat gluten, so have pudding, because I don't, everything,
you don't
everything
have
else.
Questions about that? You didn't write down questions about celiac disease? Here, come on.
No, because you're the one who filled out the form.
My bad. Next time. Like I said, next time.
I'm about to say, I can't talk about something you don't tell me.
Read my mind.
All right, let me ask my next question. So, what has been the biggest highlight or challenges when building your community? Oh, yeah, you can ask a question. Trix, is that how you say their name?
Rin. That's Rin.
Rin. Okay, yeah, you can ask a question, Rin.
Did you spell Rin
accept.
Trix?
I was reading the last part. The THX.
There's no R in that.
I didn't say I could read.
Like, I don't see that anywhere in that name.
I never said I could read.
I do. I put the silly in celiac.
But yeah, what would
I'll cook up my response while.
Yeah, cook up a response.
I guess I could start while Rin is typing. Who's your dream collab if you could pick any content creator? Dude. I know this.
Hello. Mwah.
I have 3.
Ooh, the
and
big
impressively, 3? Yeah, I have 3. Impressively, only one of them is a VTuber, but they didn't start out as a VTuber. It's just like a side hustle. Jaden Animations.
Oh yeah,
Whether
I know
it be
her.
streaming together or I don't know, somehow being an animation. I don't know. I love Jaden Animations. Paperback, who is a Twitch streamer. They're flesh tuber, but they're trans and cozy and just silly goofy lad. I like Paperback. And
Luffy
Shovel.
just said it in disgust as fucking flesh tuber. It was disgusting.
Ugh, flesh tuber. Yeah. And Shovel. I followed Shovel since fucking probably 2012. Shovel started off as a Minecraft YouTuber back in the
Oh yeah,
Minecraft
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember her. I used to watch her all the time.
I still watch her to this day, and I just like 2020 maybe, I don't know. At one point she came out as Arrow Ace, which just made me love her anymore because I was like, oh my god, she's like me. Same with Jaden Animations. I just somehow like find my way to these Arrow Ace people before they come out. I got a fucking gaydar for the Arrow Ace people. It's great. Those are my dream collabs: Paperback, Shovel, and Jaden Animations.
Oh god, I don't know if I have a dream collab. Because, like, I don't know if I do, to be honest with you, because I'm like, none of these people would ever notice me. I'm a nobody.
Well, it's not a dream collab that's gonna happen. It's just like fantasizing about like if there was one person. I'm not big on like idolizing people, and I'm not like a huge fan. Even if I were to somehow like stumble across one of these people on the street, I probably would. Dude, when I was at TwitchCon, I just walked past Tubbo, just like out in the open, and I was like, oh shit, that's Tubbo, and I didn't say anything because I was like, oh, I don't want to seem like a weird like fan person. So I just walked past Tubbo and didn't say anything.
That makes sense. I guess my dream, collab. I would love to like at someday meet Sayu. I know him because he might still do it. I'm not 100% sure, but I used to know him before he was a VTuber. He's a pretty well-known voice actor. He used to voice in Minecraft roleplays before he became like doing anime stuff.
Fire. Dude.
Yeah, if you know Shelby, that means you know Afmal. Do you know Afmal?
I don't want you to talk about that, Tyria. We can't unpack that. We can't unpack that. Of course no. I know Afmal, Tyria. And I don't want to talk about anything. We're moving on.
All I was gonna say that he used to voice a character, that's it.
Oh wait.
He used I think if you watch Minecraft Diaries, he voiced Gene.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
I watched Minecraft Diaries, Tyria.
But yeah, he used to voice Gene, and like literally ever since then, I've like, oh my god, he's my favorite besides Travis. Those two.
Oh my god.
Yes, those two are my favorite.
Zane was my favorite. But I like the like brooding type. And then when they fucking removed his mask and he had freckles, I was like, oh my heart. Anyway, we have to move on. We can't do that. This can't be that.
This might have to be a part 2 for the coffee date. Just rave about Minecraft. For the Minecraft roleplays.
Oh my god, part 2, we go back and watch like the old fucking YouTube videos that we used to watch like after school.
Oh my god. We pull up the
Undertale, like the Stronger Than You Undertale like remix or whatever.
Yeah, we watched the super old like Minecraft roleplays that used to come on.
I don't know. That's gonna be a touchy subject because most of those bitches are canceled now. The Minecraft motherfuckers be wildin'.
Oh my god, you mentioned Sky and I'm like, oh shit, I'm having Vietnam flashbacks.
I don't like him, but like that whole group, like before anyone got canceled there, I was obsessed with.
I think literally that whole group, besides like, I think maybe like no, Shovel, and then like someone who was named Deadlocks. I don't know if he was ever canceled for anything, but he stopped doing YouTube after a while.
Deadlocks. Mythzan was never canceled. Neither was Ross, I don't think.
Yeah, neither of them are canceled. Who else? Who else was a part of it?
Biggest plot twist of my life was finding out Barney's accent was fake. Everyone here is like, what are these two on about?
Yeah, you have to be a Minecraft nerd to know. Yeah, if you know, you know. Who else? Wait, Beijing Canadian and like Jerome. As far as I'm aware, those two weren't canceled. But Beijing Canadian doesn't do YouTube anymore, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. Only Jerome does. My god. I could talk forever about like the Minecraft days.
Rin, you've got us on a tangent, Rin.
Yeah,
okay.
how
I don't
fucking
remember what the original question was.
Alright, so he was talking about big 3. I only said Sayu. Who else? I think Tara,
it didn't
right?
have to be 3. I just named 3. It was It was actually a singular question.
Oh. Well, I think also it's okay. I could talk forever about that because I'm like, I don't have too many people to talk about it with.
I was about to
when it
say
comes like the Minecraft days.
it's been over a year and a half of me streaming, and I've never done a fucking like Q&A or just chatting. So I ask all the questions, y'all, because this might be the last
Yeah.
one.
Not unless we set up a coffee date part 2.
Coffee date part 2, Detective.
Hello,
Truffles
motherfucker.
Thank you for the follow. But yeah, I think Sayu would be mine. Honestly, for I'm gonna say two more anyway. Terrorizer. If anyone knows who Terrorizer is.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
Vanoss and
love.
that crew.
Yes, I would love to play
Yeah.
games with him at some point because they're just hilarious. I still watch them till this day. They're too
Oh my
funny
God,
to not watch.
The yearly
Delirious.
face reveal.
Oh my god. Did he even do one this year? I can't remember. I haven't been.
I
No,
don't
he
know if he
didn't.
did the April Fool's thing, but he never actually face revealed. But let me tell you, I believed it every time. Every time I believed it was going to be the real one.
He probably is the real one in one of them, but no one knows because no one fucking knows what he looks like. Wouldn't be surprised.
It was the first one.
Yeah, it was just the first one he did. The random person who did it. Him and cartoons. I love cartoons. He's from him. Both him and Delirious are from North Carolina, and I'm from North Carolina, so they're automatically favorites.
Dude, I know so many North Carolina people. Crazy.
Hey, yeah.
Insane.
Add me to the list.
Fucking wild.
I think it's them, and then like Big Puffer and like his friends, like what is it, Grizzy, Pezzy, Elastic Jordan, all of them. I would definitely do a collab with them if I had the chance.
Hit us up, guys.
Yeah, hit us up. I literally have nothing better to do. They just find this clip and then we just pop up in like their YouTube feed.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, Daria. I'm sure they watch VTubers so much that we would pop up in their recommended.
Actually, Terrorizer kinda does whenever he's doing reaction stuff with No Glow. And he has watched some VTubers. So I guess I think he kind of flames us, but also doesn't at the same time.
No, I would flame us too.
You know what? Yeah, we be dumb sometimes. Yeah. Not sometimes, a lot of times.
So much.
Yeah. Wait, okay. Let me redo my question. Okay, so what are the biggest highlights since building your community? That was my question.
Was it highlights and then
highlights or challenges? Either or.
Okay. I think it first started with challenges, cause when I first started streaming, a lot of the people that I would collab with and who helped me get started, don't get me wrong, I'm hella appreciative for them like helping me get started and stuff like that, but just their boundaries felt very different than mine. So when someone like gets you started in streaming and you're only collabing with them, basically at that point your whole community is their community. And that's how I got started out. So I was building a community, but it wasn't really my own, I guess. I was kind of just like their community was like bleeding into mine. And with that, there was a lot of parasocial expectations. And it's something that they were okay with in their chat, but it made me very uncomfortable.
Understandable.
And it was hard to like explain to people, and it was hard for them to understand as an audience that it was okay there but not okay here, and like that kind of thing. So it was definitely a challenge, because I think I did probably offend some of their community for them coming in and like getting a warning like, hey, don't act like that or stuff like that, or me just not reciprocating. And a lot of them like ended up leaving, which I think is just for the best. I would rather have people who are okay with my rules and boundaries stay than them stay just because I stream with someone they already follow. So that was a challenge, but I think like once I got comfortable and started being goofy and streaming my own things and doing my own series and like being an independent streamer, not just like an extension of someone else's channel, I started building a community, and I was the person that they had watched first. Like, they came to me for my stuff, not because like they were just from someone else's channel. So they found me, like, read my rules, liked my content, were okay with my boundaries, and like follow, and like a bunch of people still chat, and it's like the people that, hey, squad, you're in chat now, I love you. But the highlight was like, I guess, breaking off from just only having viewers that come from other people's channels where parasocial is the norm, and being able to stream and not be uncomfortable. Because for a while I was like, I'm only ever going to get viewers from other people, and it's going to be viewers from my friends who are okay with this, and then they're going to come here and I'm going to be like so ungodly asexual that you have no idea, and then they're going to be like, why aren't you reciprocating this, or why isn't this okay, or stuff like that. Or people have been disappointed that I've been engaged and like open about it and stuff like that. So I think the highlight is just like, over time, consistently having built a community where now I'm respected. I mean, most of the time. Sometimes a fucking jackass will pop in and be like, yeah, or. But overall, having my own community now, and then the negative is really just at the start. Now, there's not too many people with that expectation because I've made it so clear, and I have my lovely moderators bonk people if otherwise. That's also a highlight, is finding good mods. Hi mods. Hi Gumster, hi Nautilus, hi friends. Thank you for modding for me. Those are my...
I like quite literally... Actually, no. My manager, Kevin, he's my mod, because usually everyone else who can mod is busy and never on my streams.
That's true. I lied. The low was not the parasocial expectations. The low was Rin. The low is the most viewed clip on my channel, being me singing Toxic Gossip Train by Colleen Ballinger with face cam, mind you.
Oh my god.
That's actually the low of my streaming career, is that's my most viewed clip, and it still is to this day.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever dealt with parasocialness. I think because I think I'm so asexual that I don't realize anyone's even flirting with me, so I just kind of brush it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, the only people who I really flirt with are my friends, and we all know it's platonic. And it doesn't go any further than that, and it's only with people who I truly trust. It's not just going to be some rando who I just decided to talk to.
It's also, most of the time it has come up with like randos. Like, I was streaming Power Wash one day. I feel like Gumster was, someone in chat had to have been there when this was happening.
I think you showed me this one time about the Power Wash incident.
Yeah, and someone came into chat and like we're talking, and they were so strange off the bat. And their like first time chat was like, I think this game is stupid. And I was like, that's fire, then leave. This was like when I was more comfortable. I was like more comfortable at this point. I was like, oh, okay. Well, you don't have to be here. And then they were like, well, do you play any other games? And I was like, yeah, like I play in like Overwatch, Dead by Daylight. And then their like next message was like, oh, well, who do you main in Overwatch? And I was like, oh, I main supports mainly and stuff like that. And I'm trying to make this so normal.
Mm-hmm.
And they hit me with the like, do you want to be my Whittle Mussy main? And I was like, what? So then I messaged Ari because she's a mod. And she came into chat, and then Ari was like telling him like, hey, cut it off. And then they went to her and was like, so you want to be my Whittle Mercy main? And then they got and then they made a new account and came back the next day.
Oh my god.
This, like, virtually, instead of their username being like SpongeBob something, it was like Patrick something. It was still like,
oh my god,
related. And then they came in and they were like, do you remember me? And they got banned again. And then they made another new account and came back.
God. Not the not the double alt account getting banned.
Dude, while I was playing Overwatch, and they were like, "I see my one more teammates on Overwatch," and I was, brother,
Not the VR chat accent.
dude. So yeah, parasocial, it's out there, man. Watch out, cause
Oh my
let
god.
me
I
tell
think
you.
the worst I've ever gotten, and it's never, you know what? It's never Twitch. It's when I multi-stream. So it's other platform. It's never Twitch, surprisingly.
Ooh.
So I think one time, like on YouTube, someone said they were 9 years old. I'm like, huh? And then they
Ooh.
started speaking
Ooh.
Spanish, right? Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, it was like so long ago. It was like they said they were 9, and then they started speaking in Spanish, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the fuck you're saying because it's in Spanish.
Mhm.
And then like I've never seen them again since I've started back streaming on YouTube. And then one time
That's why
on
I'm so
TikTok.
scared of multi-streaming. I've been told that like weirdos appear in like multi-streams. Like if you like stream on
Well,
TikTok.
oh my god, I'm about to talk about the TikTok incident.
Oh Lord.
So I this was literally happened like in October. I was randomly streaming. I was streaming Rivals, and I had like my little I had a costume on because it was Halloween, so I dressed up like a demon. I don't think you've tuned into my streams in October to see it, but I was dressed as a sexy demon. But it was still
Fire.
monetizing, yeah. But someone,
Advertising out.
yeah, yeah,
Whoa,
yeah, I
Tyria.
did get banned. But some, I don't know why. There's someone randomly, their name is literally just notification. That's literally of their name on TikTok, and they literally just randomly said, "I'd love to see you get pregnant,"
Oh,
and that's it.
dude, I think I'd delete the account if that happened to me. I think I'd delete it. I don't think no more streams.
Well, I can't stream on TikTok right now, and it's not even because of that. It's because this stupid ass stream elements like revoked my live access for some odd reason. Because I had like something happen to my OBS, and it won't let me stream on there.
Yeah.
Like I can still stream on there if I use the TikTok one, but like it's better to multi-stream because like you can get content everywhere
I
without
know,
me
I've
having to
heard it's
like.
good. I like for half a second considered multi-streaming on TikTok, but then when I got the vertical like overlays on my OBS and stuff like that and got it all set up, my OBS was just so cluttered with so much shit that I like
Mm.
immediately backtracked and was like I can't. And I to be fair, this was also like at the start of me streaming, which was probably a bad idea. Now that I'm like
Mm.
able to handle everything that's going on as is, I could probably have a more cluttered OBS and know what's happening, but I tried to do it too early on when I was still like not really able to like play and read chat and stuff like that. So then throwing in another chat and another fucking like scene, like vertical scenes and all this,
Mm.
it just wasn't, it was not in the cards for the Truffles.
Yeah, I think like I multi-stream a lot. Like right now, we're doing literally both Twitch and YouTube right now, and I have like a thing called like Caster Lab. So like it combines chat, but it's not like on screen. This combines chat and OBS, so I can read everything and keep up without it like being too overwhelming on my end. Cause it's
So
easy.
see, I did it a
Yeah.
different way. So everything was separate. Like my scenes were separate, my audio was separate, my chat was separate. So basically everything that I have now, I had two of, which was very confusing.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Like right now, I multi-stream and everything is all on OBS. The only thing that's like not playing on OBS at the moment is the music because you can't do like the VOD thing like how Twitch does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where
So
you like mute the audio track.
yeah, so YouTube doesn't get music. They just hear
To be
silence.
to be fair, when I like post my VODs to YouTube, they don't get music either because it gets muted. So
Yeah, like I always get a copyright strike and it says it won't have an impact, but now I'm like, what do you mean I can't play this music? So chat YouTube doesn't get music. They just have silence.
as they should.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes someone will pop in every once in a while. As long as they can hear me in the game, I honestly don't give a shit about the music part. They'll probably be confused
Dude,
as why there's a.
half the time it'll mute on me or like stop playing and I won't even notice. And then when I stop
Yeah.
talking for half a second, I'm like, oh shit, like Why did no one tell me there's awkward silence?
Yeah, like YouTube will probably get confused. It's like, why is there a little music thingy right here saying Dua Lipa, but there's no Dua Lipa playing in my ear?
Where's the Dua Lipa? As I never Dua Lipa. I'm gonna go to your YouTube and comment that. Unsubscribing, no Dua Lipa.
Well, yeah, if you want to subscribe, hey, we're close to 200.
Yeah,
we're like...
yeah, let's go.
Yeah, my Kevin has been a big help when it comes to growing my YouTube. Yeah, shout out Kevin, my manager. I give that guy money, he does work. Someone drove by my house grabbing snow from the side using their plow and dropped it in front of our cars. What? They drove into the driveway and put it there. What? Who's this weirdo grabbing snow for? What the hell? Tell them that they have to pay a fine for the snow. That will probably make them stop.
For every pound of snow.
Yeah, for every pound of snow, it's $100. Hey, snow doesn't come often, so you gotta pay the fine.
I wish it came less. It's snowing right now.
Oh my god, it snowed a little bit here, but it didn't stick. It wasn't cold enough for it to stick, but it was. I was surprised because it was like, what was it? I would think it was like it was either September or October when it just randomly snowed. I'm like, what the fuck? That doesn't happen. It's usually still 80 degrees. We're currently 3 feet of snow. Ew.
Ugh. We're so helpful. Ugh.
That sounds terrible. All right, I have another question, and this one deals with mental health. All right, so yep, yes, joyous. Since mental health is like a huge thing with being a creator, what has your relationship with mental health been like while streaming?
It's been mostly good. I had more anxiety like early on.
I can understand that.
So much. Now it's pretty good. And then if there is a point where I'm like, I think originally I was like pushing more, even if it was like a bad mental health day, it'd be like, gotta stream. Because starting off, like, and in general, but especially starting off, consistency is like really important. So if I was having like a bad day or like a bad week, I would just stream anyway. I'm eating pizza. I'll just stream anyway because consistency is very important. And luckily it didn't like make me not like it and stuff like that. It's not like, oh, I've ruined my opinion of streaming because I did that. But now I'm in a position where I enjoy it so much that even if I'm having like a bad day, it's like used as like a escape or like a coping because it doesn't stress me out. It actually is like enjoyable and it's fun and I get to chat to people and be a fucking weirdo. So I think from starting till now, streaming plus mental health has significantly improved. And I'm hoping it continues to go that way because it's great. I mean, some days I still have to like be like, nah, I just don't feel up to it. If I'm just, usually it's just because I'm really tired. It's not because I'm like depressed.
Oh my god, same.
I'm just like
I was, yeah, I was supposed to stream Monday and I overslept. I'm like, it's already 10:30. I'm not gonna stream.
You said I'm good, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally just good. His little lurk thingy also triggered mine. But yeah, I guess like starting out, I was very self-conscious about it because not only am I a person of color, it's also like VTubing as well, and I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. So I was very anxiety fueled. And then also it doesn't help. You have to talk, and I'm terrible at talking to people. if it wasn't obvious. I suck at talking to people. So
I'm kind of
yeah.
masterful at it. Not actually.
Yeah,
Especially people like come in and say something and I don't know what to say and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like literally the same way. Luckily, I think it's been stream anniversary was like in September or August. So I think officially it's been like 2 years now since I've started streaming. I had to take like a major break like at the beginning of me streaming because like I had too much happening IRL, but when I started back, I mean, it started going well after I started coming back. I tried to be consistent as possible, but I couldn't do that all the time because my past jobs just sucked ass.
I
But
think we'll be in the
now, hmm?
if we're not counting like the random times I would turn on streams before I actually like started, I think my 2 years will be in like April of next year.
I think mine, yeah, technically for like my affiliate anniversary, it would be like it would be like the 1 year this year in September. But for the streaming in general, yeah, it's been like I think an official 2 years. I'm
Me and
hoping I
Biscuit
can
are
do a
really close. I don't
2.0.
remember when they are, but me and Biscuit usually do a joint affiliate celebration because ours are really close together.
Honestly, I don't think starting out, I don't think I have anyone who's like super close to me when I started out, besides my friend Echo. Her and her husband are like really the her and her husband and like very few other people are like the one people who have like stuck by me since I started streaming. So I'm happy to like gain that like friendship because honestly I plan on visiting. I visited them twice now. I think this year I plan on visiting again. They're like my best friends. Me and Echo are always saying that we're sisters from another mister.
Fire.
All right, I have another question.
Another one.
Yes, another one. This one's about boundaries and breaks. So this may this may come into like the parasocial thing you talked about earlier. But do you have any boundaries or routines that help you protect your energy while being an online creator?
I make it very clear that I'm both asexual, aromantic spec, and engaged, which helps, especially being like I not transitioned like hormonal wise and stuff like that. It's no secret that I don't have the most manly of manly voices. And even though we intentionally made my model more masculine in hopes that A, it wouldn't attract that kind of crowd, and B, also just for like being authentically myself kind of thing, people still do come in and go straight for the voice rather than like reading the about me and stuff like that, and they hear a feminine voice and then they're like, woman. Yum. So I don't know. A big thing with me is boundaries is making people aware that I am engaged, and like though I may do the same with you and like kind of platonically like joke for it with friends and stuff like that, it is very clearly a joke, and also no one should be doing that if they don't know me that well. Like no one can come in as a first time chatter and just start being like, hey hottie, haha, isn't that funny? No.
Oh my God.
I had to protect my peace a little bit with the being engaged. I had someone like way early into starting who basically like sat me down and told me that I should remove like engaged from my bios and stuff like that.
Why does it matter to them?
Hang on. There's people behind me.
Oh no.
Talk about your experience of being a VTuber of color and trying to get art, because that's a conversation I'm interested in.
Me?
Well, Yep, you got this.
What? Wait, what am I supposed to talk about again?
That's my question. Your experience trying to commission art and stuff like that. Like...
Oh. You know what? I think people have seen my past art. At the beginning, I didn't really have like a ref sheet per se. The only thing I really had was like a Vroid model that I had made but couldn't actually use because my computer couldn't handle it. So I had to commission people to like get art, to like do art for me, and it would be a hit or a miss. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes they do my skin tone right, and then it will be a completely different person who's like 5 shades lighter than me, and I'm like, who the hell is this? I feel like since yeah, I feel like since I now have like an official rev sheet, at least as of right now, and Ray is doing my 2.0 as of right now, people have been doing better at drawing me. I also, if I see them do me like 5 shades lighter, I also tell them, hey, I need some melanin. I need some more melanin. Please put me out in the sun a bit more. Yeah, where did it go? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Like
I don't finish now. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was still get like self-conscious if someone's like in the room. I'm like, they like know the stream, but like I don't like talk about it. But yeah. Someone told me early on that I should hide it and that I shouldn't be open about it because it would lessen my success as a VTuber, because people with expectations and parasocial and like love bombing and that kind of thing wouldn't want to support me if I was openly engaged and kind of like shunned that type of behavior. And so I was basically told, like, you can either be successful and pretend you're single, or not be a successful VTuber and be open about your relationship, because people don't want to watch a VTuber who is taken.
That's such a dumb.
Like, okay, well, if that's the case, then I'll be not successful and openly engaged.
I hate when people say that, because it's such a dumb analogy. Just like a ham. I don't watch a lot of VTubers, or just a ton of content creators in general. I'm way too busy to like sit down and watch like new people. But
also, don't go to a VTuber's like about me and look for the word engage and be like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, but I always hate when people say that, because like if they want to make it public, they can make it public. I don't give a shit. I mean, if they're entertaining and they make me laugh, I kind of don't care whether you're single or engaged.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I just don't agree with like hiding it, streaming in hopes of like fame. And like just that's the only driving force is, what can I do to get famous? Because I feel like at that point you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna start cutting corners. You're gonna start doing things that, like, as a person, and it's gonna put a dent in your judge of character and stuff like that. Like, don't. You're gonna be
the next lolcow.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't be nice to be able to make a living out of it. Like, absolutely, it would. But it's not like my driving force in continuing. I'm not like, hey, I'm going live today and hope that I get like 35 gifted subs. I'm like, I'm going live today because I really want to play a game I like, and I want to share it with fucking cool people, you know?
Yeah, like when we started stream, I was not expecting 10 gifted subs. I usually get in here.
That expectation immediately, Tyria?
No, I never have that expectation to anyone to give me money. That's why I don't advertise myself.
Dude, for the longest time, I felt bad even asking people to follow. I wouldn't even ask people to like follow.
Me too. I would feel bad. Now I'm like, give me money. And respectfully give me money, but don't do it if you're not financially stable. Yeah, only do it when you're financially stable.
When you're financially stable, Tyria wants all your income.
Financially stable, what's that?
What's her?
Yeah, what is that? Because like, in all honesty, I have to like, I gotta pay bills, and I gotta pay people.
Me too. I gotta pay Nautilus.
I gotta pay Ray. And my editor. Yeah. Ray, my
See,
editor,
that's why you
my
just
manager.
smack your head against. That's why you just smack your head against editing until you get it.
I don't have time to learn editing, otherwise I would. That's why I pay people to do it for me.
That's fair. If I was
Yeah.
trying to do it now, I wouldn't have time because now I work full time. But I
Mm.
like started when I still worked part time, so I had time to like smack my head against things until I got it right.
Yeah, and
But
plus, like, I think in the beginning of me like doing content creation, my laptop could barely handle me streaming, and it could barely handle me like having a program open. It could barely handle Minecraft. So yeah, I would never, literally never edited anything for for stuff. I've tried, but I hate the sound of my own voice when looking back
oh,
at
I do
recordings.
too.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
I'd
I
never
did the
do it.
psychopath thing of like playing, like being in a Discord call while I'm doing it and listening to music and listening to the clip. Me
Mm.
editing is probably the most overstimulating experience that anyone could have because I'll have like music and YouTube and be in a Discord call and be listening to the clip and adding sounds to the clip. It's just so much
There's
stimulation.
so
If you're
much
ever
sound.
understimulated and you need that fixed, come join me in a VC while I'm editing. I'll share the screen and you can hear all the noises. My cats are like screaming in the background.
Honestly,
But
I
yeah.
do that when I gotta get work done. Like I'll be in a VC like doing like little thumbnails or like promotions like in Canva, or like doing my schedule, and I'll have like a crime video up while listening to music while also being a VC.
Nice.
And then you'll just hear any background noise that at least is in my room, but there usually isn't a lot. Besides like a fan. I can't help it, it's hot in here.
It was toasty. But yeah, that's the
Yeah.
answer. I don't remember what the question was, but I think I answered it.
Uh, oh yeah, you did. You did. I'm reading
Yippee!
the next. I'm reading the next question. I'm like, hey, wait, you didn't answer that.
We're moving on. You're like, you didn't actually answer any of that.
Yeah, I'm reading the fucking next question. All right, my next question: if someone is struggling with burnout or like emotional overload, what is your advice that you would give them?
Dude, if I figure it out, I'll let you know. I don't know. It's hard because, like, for me with burnout, is I will get like socially burnt out because I'm very introverted and stuff like that. And especially now working full time, I go to work and I'm socializing all day because I
Mm.
work 4 days a week, so they're usually like 9, 10 hour shifts. So I'm socializing all day.
Oh
I
gosh.
get home and then I stream, but stream is like I want to do it and I still enjoy it, but I'm like, socially burnt out. And then after that, I have to make time for friends. So I'm like hanging out with friends because I don't want them to feel excluded because I'm a people pleaser. So socially, I get burnt out 24/7 all the time. What do? I don't know. A good nap kind of fixes my problems. Take a nap. Start taking naps. That's my solution. I, I don't know. It's hard.
I can
I think
understand that.
I think just making time for something you enjoy, like a nap. Dude,
Emphasize on the
naps
nap.
solve all my problems. I don't know. Make time for stuff you enjoy. Take a nap and like disconnect every once in a while. I struggle to disconnect from like online because basically everything I do when I'm at home now is like online. I mean, my partner lives in Germany. I stream, like all my friends are online and stuff like that. So if I fully disconnect from like turn my phone off and turn my computer off and just completely go off the grid, I'm not talking to anyone I enjoy basically except for like my mom. So that's not an option, but I think just like finding a comfortable point of like disconnecting some whatever works for you. I'm not saying get off everything cuz by all means I might take a break from like half of the Discord chats I'm in. I can't take a break from everything because like I never want to break from my fucking gay, my fiance. I think just being okay with like taking a step away and not
Mm.
necessarily from everyone, but just like keeping those who you really like want around you and don't burn you out and stuff like that, keeping them around and letting other people know like, hey, why you moving my patch. Now it's
because on my because technically on the screen they can't really see that you put a patch on me.
You're right.
I didn't even notice it until I went back to VTube Studio and saw it was on my titty.
But yeah, I don't know. My advice is disconnecting to an extent that makes you feel comfortable and doesn't completely disconnect you from everyone that you love, because that can also just make you like depressed. And take a nice nap. Get some melatonin.
Yeah. I think usually, honestly, I don't mind being on the internet, but it's usually I kind of just watch things to like cool down with if I really don't want to socialize.
Mine is like,
for me,
I'm in so many Discords.
So
me just too. Like muting all of them except for like the ones of like my partner and close friends, so I'm not hearing constant pings. And then I'll still be like on my computer, but I'll be like maybe making a Canva graphic or like watching YouTube or doing stuff that doesn't necessarily require like speaking and things like that. Or I'm a big fan of like, we have a Discord that has like a big group of friends, but in that Discord we have like a quiet VC. I think Nautilus has one in his Discord as well. That's like a quiet VC that people can sit in so they can still be around the people that they care about, but it's like a space that's designated for like not really talking too much, like maybe just putting on a movie for everyone to watch, or everyone doing their own thing, like co-working, like parallel working and stuff like that. I think spaces like that are nice, and they help me like still feel connected to people but not feel burnt out in like socialization, because I'm around them but I'm not like talking. I think that's a good strategy, at least for me, but it wouldn't work for everyone.
So. Yeah, me and my friends have like a small VC where we're like, we'll just be in VC. We won't really be talking that much. We'll like put on a movie and just do our own thing, like co-working, like how you said. And I have I have a little quiet time in like a quiet time area in my community server, but not too many people are in VC all that much, but a lot of people are busy, so I can understand that.
I will say also just sometimes like going out and like, to be fair, stuff's expensive, so people can't always go out, but I'm big on like thrifting and stuff like that. So if I really just want to like be out and be in a different environment and like just a change of pace, I'll go to like Goodwill. Shout out Goodwill, y'all. Goodwill sponsored me. I don't even think it's possible, but just like getting out, you know. Hi, Luna.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't go out as much, but I guess when I do, it's either to go to like one of my favorite places to like go get some food, or I go to the cat cafe that's like near me.
Ooh, cat cafe. I've never been to a cat cafe. To be fair, I don't go to like cafes very much because I can't get food there. There's like a cute coffee shop downtown, like in my state, that I really like, and it's next to a plant shop, and I feel very aesthetic when I go to those two places, but it's kind of expensive. Life's expensive.
Yeah, I think the cat, you technically don't have to pay to like go into the cafe, but if you want to like sit around and play with the cats, then you have to pay. Otherwise, they're fine with you just chilling in the like the little lobby area.
At this point, my house is a cat cafe when I'm fucking ruining my Arbuckles.
Yeah, hey, you just need to start charging people to play with your cats.
Guys, new side hustle. Come to Truffles, Doc's Truffles, and pay $10 to come in. And if you want coffee, it's gonna be $20. And I have lots of cats. I have 10 right now, so you got options.
Oh yeah, because like it'll be a cat cafe, but it's also kind of like an adoption center as well, because all the cats that are in the cafe are adoptable.
Oh, mine's not an adoption center. These are mine. Thank you, my cat.
Understandable. What? Yeah, but I think that's for me. I'll either just like be at home just chilling, either by myself or in a VC, or I'll go out and eat food and like or pet cats. Okay, so I got another question. This one's about the LGBT. Wait, BT? Yeah, BTQ. All right, so So in the form that you filled out, you mentioned about identity. So how has being in the LGBTQ shaped your experience online?
It's only started shaping it in my 20s. And let me tell you, culture shock. the
Is it a good culture
years
shock or is it bad?
it's it's both. I have hot takes, but I don't know if they're right. I don't know if this is that. I'll ponder my hot takes. This is
Yeah,
more what the
you can ponder
culture
it.
shock comes from a lot of LGBTQ like spaces also being like filled with neurodivergent people. And I have lots of hot takes on neurodivergence and stuff like that. We'll get into that. That's mental health.
Mm.
But like being in LGBTQIA spaces, it's good. It's very welcoming and stuff like that. It's very hard being in a position like I still hear my mom. I'm stressed. I'm not like
Oh
fully
my god.
over yet.
Oh well. Oh no.
I come out on this stream because she hears me yapping.
Oh my god.
It's nice because it's like most of the time very welcoming stuff like that. Obviously, you get like people who come into chat and then they're like, "You're actually a woman," and I'm like, "Okay."
Actually.
It's very easy to feel like not fitting in because it's like a weird position of like as a VTuber, when you get like most VTubers are feminine and very girly and stuff like that and yada yada. But then when you do get a male VTuber, a lot of the time they're like fucking waist is bigger than my head and their like shoulders are like fucking huge and stuff like that. Super burly, super manly, like corpse
Yeah.
type voice, like raging testosterone through their bones. So the community is accepting, and then like when in VTubing, whenever people do know that I use he, they, most of the time it's respected and stuff like that. But it is easy to feel like about it, not like I want to transition, but I'm not in a position to right now, especially not being like fully out. Like the conversation's been had, but people just like don't get it, which is fine. It's not like I'm not accepting of you. It's just like I don't get it because I grew up not really questioning. I grew up insecure for sure, but it's not because I was like, oh, I know I'm a guy or no, I'm trans mask and stuff like that. I grew up and was like, oh, I hate these like feminine parts of my body, but that's just on being insecure, you know? Because I knew everyone was insecure. So I was just like, oh, like this is just I'm a middle schooler and this is when you start to hate yourself. So that's why. So I still like dressed up feminine and stuff like that and wasn't questioning and presented feminine things like that. I wouldn't wear like revealing like tops and stuff like that because my chest was always very much like a touchy thing for me. I never wanted to show off. Whoa, that's weird, crazy. It's almost like I didn't want them. But with like not questioning growing up and not really knowing that like exploring gender identity was an option because I think I'd started off by saying like I only entered the LGBTQIA space in my 20s. Before that, I grew up still being online, but in the polar opposite like space. A lot of the people I grew up playing games with were like Republican and stuff like that. And although we didn't talk politics and stuff like that, it was just a different vibe, a different community, a different mindset, a different experience, and all that. And I'm still friends with a lot of these people. Like, yeah, we have different beliefs and yada yada. But overall, it was just a very different dynamic. And so I grew up not questioning because not knowing that transitioning was really an option. And then when I was 21, I was 21 when I applied to be like in a Minecraft like RP server. And, you know, the straight people aren't doing that. The straight Republicans aren't in the Minecraft RP servers. That's where the gays are. So I applied to that. I got in. That's where I met like my fiance, and like he introduced me to the person who got me into VTubing and stuff like that. And then suddenly I spent most of my time in predominantly queer spaces and I didn't know what was happening. They were using like tone tags and shit. And I was like, I don't know what that means. What? And then like one day I'm like talking and I'm like, yeah, I kind of hate like my chest and stuff like that, and like this about me, and I feel like this looks too feminine, stuff like that. But that's just like on being insecure. Then my fiance was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean? What's the alternative?" And he was like, "I'm trans," and I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You're trans," and I was like,
Damn.
"No." What? No. Wait, you're engaged, Luna.
We're gonna hold your hand when we say this.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. My engagement ring is literally in my design. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna screw us. I'm gonna float Tiri. I hope you don't mind.
It's okay. I think my pudding is blocking the engagement
my
ring.
hand? There you go. Oh, my badge. There we go. Back down.
Yeah, there's literally I made you an infographic and
Luna,
it literally says it. It literally says it on your infographic.
You're telling me you didn't read my about me or my infographic, so you hate me. But yeah, engaged. But yeah. Such different dynamics. That goes into my mental health thing, but that's a lot of hot takes. These are, I don't know if we're ready for those hot takes. It was whiplash going from in like very straight online community and stuff like that. Mental health is not a focus at all, which isn't like always a good thing. I think it should be like well known and like people should be open to talk about and stuff like that. But I think coming from that community where people are more private about it, and then being in a space that's very queer driven and stuff like that, and people are very open about it. Now I'm in a position of being caught in the middle of it is nice to be able to talk about mental health and stuff like that. But my hot take and my opinion is now we're getting to a point where so much is just like excused because of it. And it kind of sucks. Like people are not growing as humans in this community. Not everyone, but in this community, I feel like there's a lot less character growth and stuff like that. Not in a sub while I'm slapping people with the hottest take. That's crazy. I'm so happy for you. Luna, I've been engaged for
when you
November
when you engage
of
like
last
this.
year.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
It's been like a year. I've been engaged like a year, Luna. I got engaged before Nautilus and Based. But no, my hot take in being in both communities and still being in both, because I'm still friends with, like I said, a lot of the people that I met early on in the online days, and they have grown a bunch in accepting, like, we were all young when we met, we were like 14 and stuff like that, and their parents had their views and were very opinionated on, like, queer and, like, LGBTQ and, like, blah, and meh. But they've grown a lot and they're now accepting. They aren't like queer themselves and stuff like that, but they're accepting. So being in both spaces, I can say I love being able to talk about mental health and stuff like that, but I'm also seeing that people be making excuses. People be making excuses for so much and then just being like, well, I'm mentally ill. And I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, I've seen it time and time again. Not just like honestly, not just in VTubing, just like content creation, just in general, and then even stuff that's outside of it as well.
It's everywhere, but I fear I see it more in like queer spaces because like fucking cis straight people don't want to talk about their mental health and shit like that. They would rather pretend nothing's happening and all the time. Not everyone, granted. There are always exceptions on both sides. But I don't know. It's weird. I love being in queer spaces and being open and like discovering my identity and still like being able to experiment and stuff like that overall. But I can also like kind of look back at the spaces that I used to be in and be like, there are things that I appreciated there. I appreciated like that if like I needed to talk about mental health, I could. It would probably be a little strange to be like, "What? We don't do that here."
Mm.
But it would be accepting, and it wouldn't just like if there are so many less excuses. There are so many times where people are complaining and like yada yada, and you give them very fair solutions. Like someone's struggling, and you're like, "Oh, here's how like you could help solve this." And they're just like, well, no, I'm just mentally ill, so that's just how it is, and I don't want to get better. I'm like, okay.
I
Okay.
always hate people. I always hate people when they say that because I'm like, you can get better if you
Such a
actually
touchy subject. It's
tried.
so hard to talk about because it's not like
Yeah.
I've. It's not like I'm saying you're not mentally ill, but I don't think mental illness should be an excuse for a lack of self improvement.
Yeah,
Because, like,
and
people fuck up no matter what, but, like, you know,
I
I don't
hate when
know. Someone
people
can't be a
constantly
jackass.
yeah, and I hate when some people constantly use it as like an excuse for like their misdoings, and I'm like, at some point you gotta get the mental health thing like situated because you keep fucking up and it's not good.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I like being in queer spaces overall, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And there are definitely conversations I can have with like fellow queer friends and stuff like that that I couldn't have with cis friends, which is what I was talking about. Like the friend who originally made my reference sheet, I haven't had that conversation about being trans. But I also haven't had that conversation with so many people because I'm in a point now, and I have been for a long time, where I'm comfortable enough with myself that if someone like says like the wrong pronoun or something, malicious or not, or whether they don't know or not, or something like that, it doesn't make me feel any less like masculine, I guess.
Mm.
So being in a VC with the group of friends who doesn't know that I use he, they, and they're going she, stuff like that, a lot of people would take offense to it, but I think I'm in a position now where I'm comfortable in my masculinity that they can say that, and I just know that it's not like my preference, but it doesn't change who I am, which is why that conversation hasn't come up. And I
Mm.
think I do wish that more for like trans people in general. Is like I want them to be respected, and when people are notified of like proper pronouns, stuff like that, people should respect that. But I think a good goal to like achieve is being comfortable enough in your skin and your identity that if someone does get it wrong or they don't know or something like that and they say it, it's not like they just kicked your puppy and ran away, you know?
Sweet Jesus,
It's
not the
not like
puppy
the
getting
end of
kicked.
the world. I don't know. I think it's a nice like level of self peace to have for someone to like say like, oh, she, when you go he or they or something like that, and you just being like, oh, okay, that's not right, but you know, it's okay, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. Not everyone's gonna be like that, and if people want to like obviously correct them and things like that, that's perfectly fine. But I think life is just easier when you don't take things so hard, you know?
Mm.
When not everything, especially when it's out of your control. What people call you is completely out of your control. So I am a big advocate on if something's out of your control and stuff like that, you can't always take it to heart. And I think when people find that in just whatever fucking means, whether it be trans people, like identity, sexuality, and stuff like that, where they find the inner peace in that someone may get it wrong, but that's out of your control, and you can't take that to heart because that's just going to be life. No matter how fucking progressive we get, someone's going to get it wrong intentionally or not.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to live. I'm sorry. Hot takes. It's not the end
Yeah.
of the world. You can be a little uncomfortable, but like
I've had a
be
time where someone
confident
just
enough.
randomly called me a man while at work. Well, more like
Be
they
like,
said, "Thank you, sir," and I'm like, "Huh? Well, okay, but I don't. I'm not a man though." I didn't bother to correct
yeah,
them
and
because
I
I kind
feel
of don't
like
give a shit.
That's what I wish everyone would have the mindset of. Like, if you called someone who's been cis like their entire life, someone who was born like she, her, and still identifies as she, her, however old they are, if you say like sir or something, or like mister or something like that, they're just like, that's weird. And then they move on with their day. You know, like, it's not that deep. I want that level of just not giving a fuck for trans people as well. Because let me tell you, it makes life so much more enjoyable when you just stop giving a fuck about people who get it wrong. When you
Yeah,
just stop caring. Like, you can correct
yeah.
them, but like once they know and if they're still getting it wrong, being able to not care saves you so much hurt. And that just is like a life lesson. That's a truffle life lesson.
Yeah, I
If
feel like if
someone's
they
out
keep
here
getting it
trying to
wrong,
fuck
like
up,
intentionally, just fucking ignore it, because all they want is
just
attention.
ignore it. Just be moderately confused. Just have the mindset that like a fucking cis person would just be like, well, obviously not, and then move on with your life.
Yeah, I think I've been called like man or sir like twice in my life. I was confused, but like I feel like it's probably just what I was wearing. I think the last time I heard it, I was in like a hoodie that was twice my size and some baggy jeans. So I guess you couldn't tell that I was a woman. I also had a hat on, so that didn't help either.
I think mine's fully dependent on my haircut. When I had long hair, it was only like obviously like she and stuff like that. And then I cut my hair like hella short, and people
Mm.
were very confused. And now my hair is like kind of growing out of it, and now it's kind of going back. It depends on just how much effort I put in that day. If I don't put any effort to look masculine, then everyone's gonna be she. If I put effort in, then they're moderately confused. But I'm also not on T yet, so like it makes sense that they're just confused.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
like, let them be
Honestly, I
confused. That's
haven't
my
bothered.
advice.
I have not. My last job, I don't. I never bothered to like care about how I looked. So I was like, let me just put on this hoodie, jeans, and then I'm leaving to go to work. To the job that I kind of really don't like. Now at my current job, I do kind of care about my appearance because I like getting tipped and I like money.
True. I can't get tipped at my job. I don't think any. Well, I was gonna say I don't think anyone's gonna tip me for having my hands in their mouth, but like,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they would.
I mean, I bet there's an audience for that. Anyway,
There probably is. Yeah, like I work at like a coffee bar, so like we serve coffee and then we also serve alcohol. And I recently got my Serve Safe certificate, so now I can actually make mixed drinks for people.
Nice.
So now, yeah, so now I can. I was scared to do it at first because I'm like, alcohol is completely different subject to like coffee, and no one's trained me, so I'm kind of just spitballing.
I definitely shouldn't be the person. I never have I ever added the proper amount of alcohol to my own like drink. I don't measure anything, and then I'll add like way too much. I'm infamous for adding way too much rum to my rum and coke, and then having to suffer for the first like quarter of it, and then like pouring more coke in there, and then suffering it, and then like drinking more, and then pouring more coke in until it's eventually right.
I I make sure. So the biggest thing for me is like me not knowing how to make a drink. Luckily, someone else at my job who's like at the store, who works at the store, is a bartender and has been for a while and has been helping me understand what the fuck I'm doing because I don't want to like get it wrong and people are always watching at my job. So the last thing I want to do is like over pour and then they're sitting me in the office saying, so we heard you got a guy drunk.
Yeah, they're on the floor right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely floored.
yeah, and that's just the last thing I want to do. So luckily I've been I be measuring the the thing I have to use for measure. It's I'm not gonna say it because it sounds way too close to the N word.
Oh, Tyrion not trying to get banned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to get you banned. I can say it. You can't.
I appreciate it. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you know what's a story? This is unrelated to streaming or VTubing anything. I don't think you understand, y'all, how like actually pasty pale I am IRL. I'm so bad that when I did dance team in high school, my coach had to pull me inside and tell me that if I didn't get a spray tan, they were gonna dock points because my skin was too white against the black curtains on the dance stage, and that my technique wasn't good enough to be that pale.
Well, damn. They deduct points when you're pale. That's fucking stupid.
They would deduct points if I was paler because the curtains are black and I'm so pale that their eyes were drawn to me. This is the coach's like mindset, is that I'm paler than everyone, and against a black like backdrop, I am so pale that I basically am glowing. That's her words. She was like, "You're so pale, you're basically like a nightlight." So they're gonna look at you, and if your technique is not good, which it isn't, they're gonna dock points.
Well, sweet fucking Jesus, lady. Just say I'm bad. Sweet Jesus.
Literally almost got kicked off the team for not getting that spray tan. And then I'll have to show you a picture. Off stream, I'm going to show you a picture here so you understand the paleness, because it's like actually jarring. They had to...
Like when you were younger, or like how you currently are?
I mean both. I'm still this pale. This was in like high school. This was like high school dancing, so I was like 17, 18.
Oh.
Well, we were taking like team pictures, and they had us stood in front of the wall in the gym to take the pictures, and the wall's like an off-white color, and they took everyone's pictures, and then it was my turn, and I was the same color as the wall, so they had to redo everyone's pictures because I like was too close to the color of the wall, so they had to move to like a darker backdrop.
Oh no.
It was fire. I loved it. And then obviously our fucking school colors were black and gold, so our uniforms were always like black. Very pale, guys.
That's actually wild.
Pale.
Wait, I think you mentioned wanting to. Oh wait, so I have another question. It's still about the LGBT. So do you feel visible in the community? And the community has impacted you? What the fuck did I write for this?
I don't know, Terry. I feel visible. Not with how pale I am. I feel pretty translucent, actually.
I was gonna say that. Do you feel visible in the community that has impacted you to create content and connect with viewers? Sweet Jesus. The sentence did not make sense on my end, but there you go.
When I look at the community as a whole in like the big picture, not always. When I look at the communities that I choose to surround myself in, absolutely. In a big picture kind of way, not always. But also, like, I don't know, it's tricky because I think there is a large sum of VTubers and stuff like that who are a part of the LGBTQ community, not because they're trans, but maybe because they're lesbian or bi or pan and stuff like that. And they might just not be super open about it. Not necessarily hidden, but it's not like a part of their brand. I feel like with a lot of trans VTubers, that's like their brand. Not always, but a lot of people like make it kind of their thing. I've seen so many trans VTubers whose like color palettes are the pink and blue and white, and that's awesome and stuff like that. But in the big picture kind of way, I don't always...
Why is this thing like keep disconnecting?
Oh. Crazy. In the big picture kind of way, not always. It's not the worst. But I also think I chalk that up to a lot of the VTubers who are LGBT aren't just constantly talking about it, you know? They might be lesbian, but just like be single or not talk about their girlfriend and stuff like that. I don't think it's the worst community to be in for recognition, but it's not like fully balanced in my opinion. But the communities that I like decide to take part in, and my friends and stuff like that, absolutely. All my friends are queer. Who are VTubers, I should say. Unless you haven't told me something, Rem.
You're just hiding something.
Remember that friend group I was talking about earlier? The first friend group I was in, it was not queer. Wink,
yeah.
wink. Oh! Never mind, Rem is queer.
Oh.
I'm part of my straight friend
But
group.
now they're not so straight.
Drink water.
Yeah.
Become
Rem, we've doffed you queer. But yeah,
Well,
I think in the smaller groups
my
that
chat
I
is
choose
telling me to
place...
drink water.
Oh, drink. What's Biscuit's thing? Hydrate, you thirsty bitch or something?
My sound alert is
Good lord.
my sound alert is like a guy with a really deep voice saying drink water, become moist.
Oh, mine doesn't have a sound. I'm gonna get a fire mug that Nautilus is gonna make. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm super excited about the little mug that Nautilus is like making me a custom little like hydrate thing that'll pop up so I can drink, and it's super cute. We have like a sketch of the mug. Hella cute.
Honestly, I'm
yeah,
excited.
in the groups that I surround myself in, there's hella representation. If I'm just like scrolling through like general VTuber spaces, it's not as, I guess, what's the word? It's the opposite of diluted, concentrated. It's not as concentrated, but I do also think, like, I'm aware that it's partially because that's not everyone's, like, center focus of being a VTuber. Like, it's not mine. I'm not, like, the asexual VTuber. Like, so I think, it's probably more concentrated than I think in the general space, but it's just not, everyone's main focus, which is also fine. Like, if people want to make that their brand and stuff like that, by all means, that can be their brand, and I see it all the time and I support it. If that's not their brand and it's just something that they are and really only comes in conversation off stream in their dating life or whatever that may be, that's also valid. It is what it is. Do what you want to do. Be gay, not be gay. Live your life, queen.
Yeah, I don't really advertise the fact that I'm asexual.
Yeah.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's like in my about me, like, or my FAQ or something like that. It's somewhere. Like, I have like a frequently asked questions, and it's definitely in there, but it's not like a central focus of anything. It's just, it rarely comes up. It only really ever comes up when I do talk about like streamers that like mean the world to me, and a lot of the times it's streamers who also happen to be asexual and stuff like that. But I think it's more widespread in the VTubing community than what we see, and it's just the people are like us, where it's just something that they are, but they don't really like talk about it too often, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the only time you can really see it is if you really want to do a deep dive. I guess you can say my design that matches like either arrow ace or asexual. That's really the only thing. Yeah, that's literally the only thing. But honestly,
yeah, how many flags there are? Like, so many people's design does. I guess mine would kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, I guess I would need more gray. The aromantic flag has green and stuff like that. But there's so many flags. You can't just like look at someone's design and be like, weird.
Yeah, and I think I guess mine could technically be the asexual one, but it could also be aromantic. So like, it can be literally be either or. But I guess besides that, I usually don't really talk about it. I don't talk about relationships at all because I don't have one. I'm too single.
I talk about like being in a relationship more than I talk about being asexual or being like a romantic spectrum. And honestly, like people popping in, or people, honestly, probably some people who are like watching now probably didn't even know that I was aromantic as well because I'm in a relationship. Because a lot of people think it's black and white. Like if you're aromantic, you don't date. If you're not aromantic, you do, which is not the case. There's like a spectrum, as there is with a lot of sexualities and stuff like that. But like, it's more well known, I think, in my community that I'm in a relationship just generally than it is that I'm aromantic or asexual, or that my partner is trans, like those kinds of things. So I don't think it's not like prevalent in the community. I can't say whether or not like how prevalent, just because I don't stalk people's profiles that deep.
Me neither. Unless you say it, I usually don't bother.
Yeah, like if it's not like, if I see someone new and I think they're like intriguing, I'll go to like their panels and like look at their about me. But if it's not like in there, which a lot of the times, if it's like, if it's a trans person, you'll see like pronouns and stuff like that. So that could be like, oh, this is a trans person. But a lot of people don't start their like about me with like, I'm lesbian.
Well, you'd be surprised. So, I've seen some Discord profiles. Yeah, some people do. I've seen some Discord profiles where they were saying what's basically like a Tinder like fucking profile. I'm like, are we dating? Are we trying to like find some VTubers to date or what? Like, huh? Actually, no. It's Discord and VR chat. Discord and VR chat.
Oh my god, I refuse to go on VR chat. I'm scared of that shit.
I go on VR chat. I have a headset and everything. I usually avoid public spaces and only go to private ones that explicitly say that they're 18 plus.
One day I'll get a headset. I need to hook up my TV.
Honestly,
things, but yeah.
I don't know if you ever. I would recommend getting a Quest 2 to see if you don't get motion sickness. And then, like, after a while...
the issue is, I already got one up on Throne that's, like, mostly funded, so I can't be switching. I can't be changing my mind now. But I have used a VR, like, headset, and I've been okay.
Okay, I was about to say, like... I was about to say, like, I started cheap because I'm, like, I'm paying out of pocket. This wasn't, like, something that was funded. I just really wanted a headset, so I got a Quest 2.
See, I taught myself to edit. Now I edit for, like, Airy and... if someone like needs like something made on Canva and stuff like that, just like a friend or something like that, I'll do it. So I've just been slowly, and then I don't know, I feel weird about people sending me money, so I usually just like have them like fun, like if I edit like 5 clips for Aries, it'd be like $25, and I'm like, just throw something on Throne. I feel less bad about you like putting it toward like something I'm funding than you just like sending me money directly. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a very good streamer. I'm like, ooh, people giving me money. Weird. Maybe
I usually don't feel too bad about like people giving me money if I'm giving something back. Like I recently started doing like commissions for people, so like people will spend like a large amount of money because of the services I do, and I don't really mind charging that much because what I'm doing is a lot, and I would prefer to get charged the right amount.
I think when it's like a third party like service or something, like how on Throne it like goes through Throne and then I just get sent like a thing, then it's less weird to me. So like if I was doing like commissions on VGen and it was like through VGen, it would probably feel not weird, but I don't. My skill level is not good enough to
Kevin, if you're talking about KT, they're a man.
Popsicle. See, it's that voice thing. Fire. I think we should pin that message.
You know what? I will totally pin the message.
Pin the message. I don't know. I don't think... Dude. We can't be calling me a man. I'm a truffle.
I pinned it on my side.
Fire. I'm gonna pin it on mine too.
Can you pin my stuff on
conversation that we just had about like people like fucking up and not knowing and then just like not taking it to heart? That's what I want everyone to be able to do, to see that and then just like laugh about it. That's the kind of whimsy I want in everyone's life.
Yeah, I feel like if it's literally like a complete fucking stranger who literally does not know anything about you and they mistake you for something else, I wouldn't take it to heart too much. Because unless you got a glowing ass sign that says what you are, no, people are just going to assume regardless.
I should change my color palette to pink, purple, and or not purple. That's not even a part of the flag. I'm just making up a flag. Damn.
I mean, that's all. That always happens.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make one up. It's the truffle flag.
Let's put a mushroom in the middle. Just a rainbow mushroom.
But yeah. That's
all right.
I don't even remember what the question was. Next one.
All right, so this one has to do with you being trans and masculine.
Yeah.
So, how did you decide on the persona or your model you use? And did it reflect who you are, who you want to be, or something in between? I think you did mention that like in the beginning though.
I did. It's an in-between. It's an in-between because it's mostly me. But my model doesn't have titties, which is what I want to be.
This is you. There's no booba.
This is me if I had a better jawline and no tits. I came up with the design. So the original design for Truffles I had talked about originally, like I said, was much more feminine. And honestly, it was more feminine than I actually am. Because IRL me, I do have a lot of strong features. I wouldn't say necessarily masculine because you can have feminine features that are like strong. But I have bone structure that is probably more androgynous and stuff like that. So the original design for Truffles was actually more feminine than I am because it had like softer features than I do and stuff like that. But then I found myself when sending that reference sheet being like, okay, but make it less girly. So actually take this reference sheet and don't draw that. Here's a reference sheet and now make that character less girly. Because, but I also don't I don't see myself as like manly, which is why we go into the trans mask realm where it's like, I don't, and maybe it's because I haven't transitioned. Maybe if I actually transitioned, I would feel super fucking manly and just the testosterone raging through my bones. I'd go shoot a gun or something. But I don't feel like that right now. And that's just a personal thing. You don't have to be on T or transitioned physically to be a valid trans person. It's just kind of the thing right now where I'm not on hormones. I don't have top surgery. I am just as feminine as I was before, anatomically, just with shorter hair. So leaning non-binary masculine is kind of where I'm at, where it's he is fine and they is also fine, I guess is the best way to put it. Trans mask, for me, there's discourse on if trans means you're the opposite gender that you were born with. So since I was born female, it would be male and just he, they. Or if trans is just not identifying with only the gender you were born with. So if you use any pronouns, you'd be trans. That's a personal preference. For me, it's if you identify with more or different or whatever. If you are not what you are born as, you're trans. But once again, personal preference. I don't care what you think trans is. You make your own opinions on that. But
you do you.
You do you. That's my motto in just life. You do you. Me do me. And we can get along. I'm
Right,
you don't have to agree. And you can look back at old me and be like, you were comfortable being feminine then, so you're probably not trans now. And I'll be like, yeah, and you can believe that. But I also can believe that I feel more comfortable in masculinity than I ever did in femininity, which I think is what also is my guiding force in coming up with being trans mask and being yeah, I think this is right. Because I can't remember a single point in being feminine that I felt confident physically. And don't get me wrong, I'm still insecure as fuck. But I do have confidence, and there are times I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, damn, ate that shit up, period. And I didn't have that as a woman. Which is why, and I think that's also why. Yeah. I think that's also why I don't take offense to when people don't understand it just in life, because they're not feeling what I'm feeling. They looked at me, and I did everything in my power growing up to not let people know that I was insecure, to not let people know that I was scared, to not let people know that I hated myself. I didn't want people to know that. I didn't want people to see me as weak or anything like that. Not that it makes you weak, but I was fucking scared. So what they saw was someone who wore dresses and would fucking prance around and walk to the fucking beat of their own drum and seemed confident. So then they're like, oh, you're confident growing up and now suddenly you're a man. Trans people just always know. And I'm like, first of all, they don't always know. Second of all, you don't know what I was actually feeling. Because just because I was acting like I loved myself and yippee, I'm so cutesy and demure, I didn't. Spoiler alert. But the big difference in my design now is I found myself having a reference sheet that was very feminine and going to artists and being like, hey, here's my character. They're androgynous, so ignore this reference sheet basically. So when it was made, I was using any pronoun. So I was like, I want it to be androgynous. Well, then I switched to he, they, but I'm pre-transition. So Nautilus made my new character design, and really the goal there was we wanted to lean more into masculinity, whether or not I decided I was non-binary, whether whatever, if I decided to, I don't think just being she, her, I don't think she's in the cards for me. And like I said, if you want to call me that, you do you, boo. I won't fucking crucify you for it. I don't care enough. I'm too tired to care enough. But for my own identity, he and they are more comfortable. And so when we were making the new design, we knew just voice wise, just taking into account the fucking facts, is that I have a feminine voice. So if I have really any femininity in this design, people are gonna look at it and go, that's a woman. That's just how it is. And they're not to fault for this. It's not a bad thing. You take someone who has a feminine voice and you throw any sense of femininity at their eyes, and they're like, oh, they're at least somewhat female identifying. That's how it is. That's fine. So we're like, we don't want to do that. Because, I mean, you can see, even having a model that I think is very clearly more masculine, people do mess it up. Hey, Kevin, I'm calling you out. But it's okay. It's a learning thing. But you can see, even taking a model and going, we know people are going to mess it up. So let's just niche all femininity and go straight for a masculine design. So people are more likely to be confused and then maybe read the about me that says pronouns and stuff like that. So that kind of was the driving force in coming up with this new design, is, I don't know, I guess a level of confusing people enough to fucking read the about me and be like, what are you? And then the rest of the design, just like outfit and stuff like that. I got an art piece a while back, really early on into VTubing, that wasn't actually of Truffles, my character. It was actually of Grass Cat, Leafeon, my little mascot. If you're a Truffles viewer, you know. The Leafeon widget on my screen, we named him Grass Cat, a lad. But I got art of Leafeon as a person. It was a little doll art piece. It was a little fucking sketch of taking Pokemon and turning them into people and doing a Skeb outfit design. And so I got this art piece a year ago, and then the outfit was fucking fire, mind you. And so when I made my redesign, I was like, wait, I have this art piece of that is already mine, so I'm not fucking stealing anything, of Grass Cat as a person, and they're wearing a really cool vest in it. I want that. I want Grass Cat's vest. So Grass Cat doesn't have a shirt now. And then the rest of the model was just kind of Nautilus. It was just we're taking a character who doesn't have lore, but let's just pretend they're in the woods all the time. So all of their outfit pieces is handmade, kinda. So the patches on the pants, leather shoes, because leather working and stuff like that. That's where the rest of the stuff came from. We basically took a very feminine character, turned it into a man, and then said, fucking druid whimsy, sprinkle that on top. So realized that I could be whatever. My original character was just wearing an outfit that I owned. I put on an outfit one day genuinely, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is a fire outfit. I'm gonna make my VTubing model wear that. And then as I started VTubing, I realized people had really extravagant outfits, and that I didn't just have to wear jeans on my model. So I was like, oh, I can wear anything. So that's why it's much more whimsical, D&D inspired, fantasy-esque, because originally, I got bored of my first design very fast, because it was literally just in a green plain-ass crew neck and brown overalls and 35 necklaces, and that was the design. And then I realized that people had really fucking extravagant outfits, and I was like, I want a slice of that.
I think with me, mine started off as very simple, because I'm I don't really know what I want, but I really don't want to go over the top, because I know art is expensive. So that's how my first ever design got made. It's just me with a little checkered purple skirt, a little sweater that's off the shoulders, and then a little one piece underneath. And then there wasn't anything else crazy about my design. Now my 2.0, now it's way more detailed than what I could ever think of. I can't wait to show you guys when it's actually done.
That's why I made Nautilus do it, because Nautilus... I should have put this on the thing. I have this lovely... I don't know if we've had this conversation, dear. I have this lovely thing called aphantasia, so I can't, like, visualize things, like, in my brain at all. So if you say, like, close your eyes and picture an apple, no, I can't do that.
If you close your eyes, we're just gonna see the word apple, but not an actual picture of one.
I can't see anything. It's just black. Ever. Like I can't. I don't dream in pictures. I don't imagine in pictures. Like I can't make a picture with my mind. So when trying to design a character, when the sky's the limit, I can't even picture the sky. So I can't picture the limit. So that's why I made Nautilus have a heavy... I had like general like vibes. I was like, I want it to be cottagecore. Originally, I said I don't want a mushroom hat, fun fact. And my first design didn't have a mushroom hat. Because I was like, brother, every fucking VTuber, every mushroom VTuber on the face of this motherfucking planet has a mushroom hat. I want to be whimsical and different and stuff like that. And here I am in a mushroom hat, and now I feel bald when I don't have it. But Nautilus had a hefty hand in like the fine details. I was like, here's a picture of a vest I really like. I don't want a mushroom hat. Nautilus said, yes, you do. And I was like, all right, you're right. I want tattoos because IRL, I have a lot of tattoos. Mushrooms, moss, a color scheme I gave, like browns and greens and off-whites and stuff like that. But as for like the character, it really is a combination of myself and what I would want to be if I transitioned. Like, I don't want to be a fucking huge ass jock, like 6-pack, like thighs the size of your head, motherfucker. I'm just a scrawny little motherfucking lad. So it's like a perfect combination of being authentically myself, but also I don't got it, so just like great.
Oh god, I think with my design, I'm glad that I got Ray to do it, because I was gonna ask a friend, and I'm not saying that she's not good at like designing, but like I can't put into words what I'm the same as you, because I can't put in the words of like what I want. I'm like, I want it to look space themed and like somewhat futuristic, because I'm a space elf that like runs like a modern day cafe. And I was like, I have no idea how to incorporate that to a 2.0 design. So I'm glad that I went to Ray, because she made me look like who I wanted to look like without me having to like tell her, no, this is wrong. Why are you doing this?
I think most VTubers though have a level of playing a character that they like want to look like, no matter even if it is like somewhat. And some people just like are fully like that, like their models don't reflect their physical appearance at all, nor their personality. People a lot of times play a character in streaming and stuff like that. It's fun to figure it out, but I'm definitely both physically and like emotionally as like the character. I would say as the character, there is no separation between Truffles, like demeanor.
Demure.
No, demeanor. That's it. There's no difference between Truffles and me personality-wise, because I don't want to have to like be distracted on trying to like act a certain way when I'm like trying to play games and just like enjoy games, stuff like that. I don't want to in the back of my head be like, you're playing a character. I just want to play the game. So personality wise, Truffles is just me. Physically, it's definitely a happy medium of like an ideal and accentuating traits that I like in myself. Like freckles, I have freckles. Hazel eyes. Obviously, Truffles are much more whimsical. I don't have leaves in my eyes, but like accentuating things that I do enjoy about myself, while also adjusting things. I don't want to say fixing, but adjusting things like that I don't like about myself to create something that I feel comfortable playing that still feels like me. When sometimes having tits IRL, I don't feel like me.
Yeah, I feel like I guess with my design, yeah, it would be something I wear. I don't put on a show when I stream. It's literally just me. Instead of just me the
Dude,
same my it's me instead of me the same my government name, the same my VTuber name. It's literally just me. I do not try to bother to change anything.
yeah. Personality, it's just us.
Yeah,
Just
it's
two people
literally
that.
just me, which is why I'm surprised anyone who decides to follow me because I am not that interesting.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
What was my oh okay, so my next question is this is still about you being trans masculine. What has been empowering about the VTuber community as a trans creator, and what challenges have you ran into? I feel like you kind of answered this before, but if we want to go more in depth about it, you can.
Yeah. I don't feel like. I mean, I guess I don't see the challenges. It's not like I went. I know, like there have been VTubers who started streaming who were feminine, transitioned, kind of redid their stuff, and then became more masculine, and then lost, like viewers or popularity or stuff like that. I started off like not just being like she, her, and being like questioning of my identity. So I didn't see like I think a challenge could be seeing a drop in viewership when someone decides to transition. And maybe if I do ever decide to fully transition and I hit that T and my voice drops, people are gonna stop watching me because they're like, ugh, ugh, ugh. But I haven't faced that challenge yet. I guess I don't know, maybe less people want to watch me because I don't have big booba, but if I don't notice it, if they're not here, I don't see them, so like it's out of my vision.
Hmm.
It's out of my realm of knowing and that kind of deal. I don't know. I don't think it's hard to say like what's been I think finding other trans VTubers, the empowering part in the community that comes with that. Like, you know, being like, oh,
Um,
I'm a little like insecure and yada yada and stuff like that, and then other people being like, oh, we felt that way too. And I'm like, oh, yippee. But that's in like most communities, is a sense of that.
yeah, I feel as though like I've been a bit insecure, but it wasn't because of like me being LGBT. It was more for me, more from like my race, because I didn't really see a lot of like black creators who are VTubers until literally last year. Or what was it this year actually? I think it was actually this year who I saw a big uproar about it because I think they were kind of coming into popularity a bit more, I think. So I always kind of felt like outside it in a way because most of the people who I ever collabed with are never black representing.
Dude, my gasts get absolutely flavered when I'm on like VGen and I see like the plus like bl- plus $10 for like skin color change or like for like
Oh
textured
my
hair. I'm
oh my
absolutely
god.
baffled at it. I'm like, dear lord.
I've seen that when someone I think someone posted on Twitter about
I saw
someone
that
like
post and I like
yeah.
obviously it's not something that I like dealt with, so it wasn't in my like experiences or I guess my radar at all, but then it was
Hmm.
posted about it and I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, from now on when I scroll YCHs I'll see that and I'll just be like, girl. I'm like, girl.
Honestly, if you say you can't, if you're not comfortable with doing like black hairstyles or like black features, let's say you can't.
Yeah, it's like admirable to admit that you can't, but also it kind of feels shitty to charge extra for it if you can.
Especially when it's a skin tone thing. I'm like, you can't draw any other skin tone besides white. You can't color pick.
See different flavors of white too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like if you can change it from like white to ever slightly more white without an extra charge, you can change it from white to black without a charge. It would take basically equal amounts of effort, unless you just don't know how to like shade and highlight colored skin. But I don't know. It's every time I'm just like,
That's why I always gotta look at like someone's portfolio before I even bother to commission anyone. Because if I don't see anyone with like some, if I don't see anyone with like who has like at least a shade of a skin tone, like at least darker, yeah. I gotta like.
I bet we both struggle with finding art, but for different reasons. Because like there's the struggle for finding art for like colored people, but then there's also a severe struggle for finding art for masculine people.
Yeah, so because a lot of people will draw men, but like they're buffed up with 6-packs, ready to crush you.
Dude. I implore you to type in like male YCH on VGen and just look at the absolute chads that pop up and try to envision Truffles in that YCH because none of them work. Even if they try to draw a more like scrawny, like masculine character, they always have like 8-pack washerboard abs. Like overall they're less wide, but they have like an 8-pack like fucking pudding cup abs. And like Truffles doesn't have abs. Spoiler alert. I can't take my shirt off, but like I have a beach art piece and I just like basically he just has like the line down the middle a little bit, you know? But no like actual like definition in the abs. I'm pretty sure in the art piece that rated you could actually see his ribs a little bit. He's scrawny as fuck.
Yeah, did Ray do it or did someone else do it? I think I remember seeing the Summers. Ray did it? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you can see his ribs. I think he's just like, because he's leaning back a bit. But no. Fucking finding art for masculine people as well. YCHs don't exist. Ray actually made that. The beach art is a YCH because I went on a whole tangent in the DM with her and Aerie about not being able to find summer YCHs and wanting to do like a cute little like beach scene and stuff like that. And like all of the men were shirtless and had 15-pack abs, and then Ray made like 3 options that were like androgynous and more scrawny, and I was like, I love Ray. So
yeah. Yeah, because like you were struggling with like something for Christmas.
The Christmas ones as well. We were doing that in Astral Forest. I couldn't find any Christmas ones.
Yeah, like I found one for you, but like, they not a twink. That's literally what I said.
Not a twink. None of them are twinks. And I messaged the person and I was like, could you make him a twink? And they were like, yeah, but I was like, I don't know. Artists. And if you're watching and you have an artist friend, send this to your artist friends. Make YCHs for twinks. I'll give you my money. I have a full-time job. I work in a dental office. Make YCHs for twinks.
Hey,
for the holidays.
Yeah, for art, honestly, for artists, fucking learn how to shade dark skin.
This is our request.
Yes.
Clip this, put it on Twitter, get it viral. We want YCHs that work for dark skins, and we want YCHs that work for twinks, and we want YCHs that work for dark-skinned twinks. Damn it.
Yeah, honestly, like literally, I will throw your money up at you if you can draw dark skin. I'll give you all my money. It's like very few artists who I really like branch out to, because honestly, if their portfolio ain't looking like I trust them, I move on to someone who I actually trust.
And I was talking to a friend and they like showed me like their character's reference sheet versus the art that they got, and it literally, the reference sheet had like what color that they used to highlight. So there's literally not an excuse there, because in the reference sheet it had like their skin color, their shading color, and their highlight color. And the art that they got, the color of their, like the lightest part of the skin tone in the entire art piece was still lighter than the color used to highlight the reference sheet. And I was like, girl, where did you get those?
I don't know if I've shown you specifically, but like when I first started VTubing, people would get my shade wrong a lot. Granted, I didn't really have like an official. Yeah, granted, I didn't have like an official ref sheet technically that had my skin tone on it, but like I figured people could like color pick on my exposed skin and get it right. Nah, they don't. They don't do that.
I had the opposite issue when I first started out, and my ref sheet was like work in progress / like partially complete. is that like the character was like sketched out and they were like kind of like color swaps like scribbled in certain spots to like show because it was incomplete, and I would be drawn like 15 shades darker than I am, and I'm like,
oh my god.
like, don't get me wrong, they still drew me as a white person, but like a white person who's not malnutrition, and I was like, that's not Truffles.
Like,
I'm like, they don't look vitamin deficient enough to be Truffles.
I'll have to show you after stream. I'm pretty sure you've seen some of this art, but like I don't think they didn't do a bad job because like, I mean, how I look now, yeah, I'm a lot darker than my past art, but also like I didn't.
2.0 went out in the sun.
Yeah, 2.0 went out in the sun. I think even my old model, it's not really old, but my normal model even doesn't really have that much melanin in it. Like it does not match how I look currently right now at the moment what you're looking at on the screen. She is at least 2 shades lighter. But also with the person who did my art, yeah, and also with my artist, from what I have heard, I am the first black person she's ever done for a model. Yeah, and I didn't get to choose my artist at the time because I was a part of a project and they kind of just chose for me who did my art and rig. So, yeah. So I didn't really have a choice in that matter, but I think with what they had, they did a good job, especially if they've never done it before. But I'm definitely glad that like now I get to choose who does my art. Yeah. And I could, yeah, and I could say, hey, I don't like it. Can you change it? And them not get mad at me.
Hey, can we bring back some of that sweet, sweet
Yeah.
Can we because bring that back?
Yeah, because like as much as like I feel bad about asking someone to change something, it's not me. So I'm like, I paid you money. At least do it right.
True. That's what I have to do a lot of times. I'm like, see that character you drew, that's a woman. And I have had to like reach out to artists like in the past because like I'll scroll through VJ and I'll see an artist that I really like their work, but every single one of their portfolio pieces is of women, so I genuinely like don't know if they can draw like masculine proportions and stuff like that, which if they can, it's fine. I've like scrolled through VJ and found someone I really like, and then in their TOS it says like only females or like no males, and then I just like continue scrolling and go about my day. But I have had to like reach out to artists whose portfolios were only women, be like, hey, do you know how to draw men, or like androgynous? Even with my current ref sheet, a lot of the times I'm still drawn like way more feminine than what I think my model and my ref sheet shows. I've started sending screenshots of my model to artists in hopes that helps them, because the lines are a little harsher and stuff like that, in hopes that they get across that I'm not feminine. I'm a truffle.
No boobas.
No boobas. Nope, that's my defining feature. Defining feature about my model is the no boobas.
Yeah, because I like, some people will say they can draw guys, but then they still kind of look feminine, and I'm like,
And you're like, No, it's very common, but sometimes they genuinely can't, but they think they could, so I just like go about my day, and I probably don't commission them again, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, your money's already paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's paid for, and I'll live. I'll survive.
I think that maybe if they do want to try, I wouldn't make someone pay for it though. Me personally, because if they really don't like it,
or like discount it.
Yeah, or discount it, so at least people won't feel as bad. Or I guess if you want to, you can do a giveaway, because at least you're getting more viewage.
Yeah, but I guess then it would be kind of shitty to be like, hey, I'm doing a giveaway, but only men can apply.
Oh yeah.
that might be a little controversial.
Well, I feel like, well, yeah, it would be. I mean, I have seen like people like say, "Hey, I'm doing a giveaway, but only women, no men. Go away."
That's true. I'm doing.
So I guess it depends. You're just doing a giveaway.
Doing a
What? Well, you already kind of told me this one part, like about your community, like pretty much accepting you as like a trans male. That was gonna be the next question, so I probably
Community,
won't
how we
bother.
feeling? How
Yeah,
we feeling
how,
about the...
how we feeling about Truffle?
Rem's like, I don't know what happened. Last I checked, Truffles is a woman.
Damn, does no one have anything to say? That's crazy.
Gumster's probably drinking Pepsi. They all just didn't want to say anything. They're all like, hey, we're not a fan.
Damn, that's crazy.
Just your support. I appreciate you, Rem. I need to get. I might have Kick on my phone. Start. You know, we should make a channel in the dictatorship. Don't ask questions, Syria. For you to send Kick things. I need to see if I had Kick. I had it for a little bit. I don't remember. I think Z made me get it.
I've never had a Kick, but I've thought of like streaming on Kick till I heard about all the odd people that are on there.
Yeah. There's weirdos everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But no, community's accepting. I mean, the only time someone isn't accepting, I had someone come in once. They were mad at me in Dead by Daylight, and you know they were accepting in they're mad that I won the game, kind of way. And it's one of my favorite quotes by a first-time chatter, and I think it just encompasses the vibes. And they said, "If I weren't an ally, I'd call you a slur."
Well, I mean, I guess
favorite.
they didn't say a slur, I guess.
No, it's one of my favorite quotes. I think I pinned it. I think I ended up pinning it, and then they left. But they like popped in, and they were like, "Do you just not let like survivors live in Dead by Daylight?" And I was like, "No, because it kind of defeats the purpose of the game." And then something came up about like maybe someone correcting them on pronouns. I don't know. Something came up, and then they were like, "If I weren't an ally, I'd call you a slur right now." And I started laughing at them, and they left. It was the most fire fucking statement ever. I want them to. I wish they would have followed. I wish they were still here to this day. I wish this would have been our friendship arc, because I just like, it's like a fucking. I just say it to friends now. If I weren't an ally, I'd call you a slur. It's such a fire statement.
You're lucky I support LGBT, otherwise I would have called you something mad.
You're lucky that I'm also gay, because otherwise I'd be calling you a word that rhymes with brag.
Oh no. All right. I got a next question. This one has to do with parasocial relationships.
Oh, yippee, we love those.
So, well, I don't really have to say this is a big one. It's parasocial relationships, but what is an experience? How has I can't talk. What has your experience with viewers forming one-sided bonds or crossing boundaries? You talked about this in the beginning about like one person like being comfortable with it, but you completely not, and like setting a boundary for it.
I just set up a boundary real quick, right? For a short period of time, I turned off my like Discord DMs because I was getting like a shit ton of DMs and stuff like that, and yada yada. And like, you could just tell it was going in a direction. It didn't escalate because very quickly I was like, whoa. And then I also came up with the person being like, hey, don't be public about your engagement, because then people won't want to like buy you a gift off throne. And then I'm like, that's fine, I'll buy it for myself. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's hard to say how it's affected me. It did affect me for a bit, because even though I was setting up boundaries and stuff, you could tell there were people like trying to push. They weren't pushing enough to get banned and stuff like that, but they were pushing enough to be like side-eyeing them, and that kind of thing. But it's definitely just a matter of putting up those boundaries and stuff like that. And honestly, if someone's in the mindset of that kind of like, I only want to spend money on you if you're single, and like creepo behavior and stuff like that, I don't want your money. you don't be
true.
weird about it, I don't want your money.
So true. I don't think I've ever played into like the parasocial stuff that happens when being a content creator. I think I kind of just set a boundary just right off the bat because I'm very blunt. So I'm like, if someone asks me something weird, I'm like, no, and move on.
Yeah, and I also just think, especially since like 2.0ing, I don't think in this current design with my mushroom hat and mushroom buttons on my vest and my goldfish patch that says repent approved, I don't think I'm the epitome of the male nor female gaze. I don't think anyone's coming in here and being like,
I mean, I have had people like compliment my model, both my old one and like, you know, this customizable one that's like everywhere now. But I've had her
my models, but in like an appreciative of like the uniqueness in the art kind of way, not in the like, you're so sexy, let me buy you something kind of way.
I've had a bit of both. Like people just generally appreciate how unique I look because I feel like there's not too many. I guess there's not too many elves who like take on a more modern look, I suppose. And I guess since like I'm a person of color, I guess it's also just unique as well. There's a lot of people in the VTuber community who are a person of color, but like they don't really see it as much. So I guess that also adds to the appeal.
I don't get it nearly as much since I think my when I had the Wanny customizable model, maybe it could have happened just because that model has the like syndrome that most male customizable things do, that it was white as fuck and like jacked. But since getting a custom model and leaning nowhere near like sexy and like hot, like just being a little guy, I think I've built sufficient walls in just the way that I put myself out there, that there aren't too many people seeking out a parasocial type of interaction. Come back in like a few years when I have more of a following, and I'll let you know if that changes. But I don't know. I don't think I just like. I just don't think I think people would have better luck literally anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't
like.
I want to say that I don't really attract people who do that. I mean, if I do, they don't outwardly say it.
Yeah, they're just in the background. Yeah, if you're not outright saying it, then I don't give a fuck. You can want it, but don't actually act upon it.
Yeah, because that's the last thing I want. Yeah, because the block button's like right there, and I'm hovering over if you do any type of weird shit to me.
My block button is in Gummy's hand. Gummy's itching to ban people.
Honestly, yeah, I think when like Bob will like moderate my streams a lot, and if anyone's doing weird shit, let's say Bob, do something.
I just like send a ping in my like fucking Discord. I'm like, hey, there's a weirdo, and the cavalry like shows up.
Yeah, it would either be like my friend Echo, Airy, or Bob.
Yeah, but it's very rare. I think I've only had to send out a ping for like the SpongeBob guy. And then maybe like one or two other people. It's very rare that someone comes in and is immediately weird, or they're so weird off the bat that they just get hit with a hammer like so fast and nothing else happens.
Now
I'm instantaneous.
I'm paying attention to the chat a lot. So if anyone even says anything remotely weird, if I don't have mods, I'm literally right there to like get them out of here.
Quivering over the button. Yeah, I got them. Like the hot tools or whatever. Where you can just
the hotkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so quick to do so. Alright, well, I guess if you had a piece of advice about like getting new viewers who are still learning how to handle parasocial dynamics, or what type of advice would you give them?
Get good mods.
I mean, yeah.
If you're like not confrontational like I am, get mods. Like get a friend or someone. Try to find someone who can be there to be confrontational for you. Because even still, I try not to be confrontational. I've definitely gotten better since starting and stuff like that. I'm still working on it, so my best advice is you don't gotta handle it alone. And like, don't let them step all over you, because the second you let one person like cut corners and step all over you, the second other people want to do the same. So if you can't do it yourself, get the cavalry. If you can, sooner rather than later, because you don't want to do it before it becomes like the norm. You know, if it keeps happening, even with just one person, it becomes more normalized, and you don't want that. You want to kind of stop it dead in its tracks, so it's just like a... So then even, like, if someone comes in, like, I've had people, just, like, viewers, like, just people who consistently watch that aren't mods. Someone will come in and do something that's against my rules, and just, like, someone who's, like, a regular viewer will be like, hey, that's not allowed. And so...
Oh yeah, I think about. I already told you about the pregnant clip. Even even newer viewers were like, "Yo, what the fuck are you talking about?" when they first saw it. It was such a wild thing to say.
If you don't have a community, he'll stand up for you. Get a mod who will, even just one, especially if you're small. All it takes is like one person to be there just to watch things over.
Yeah, you don't really need like a whole team. That's like one person.
No, I still don't even have like a huge ass team, because people got lives, and I get like, you know, like I have a good handful of mods, but they work and like they have lives and stuff like that. So
yeah, like what my only moderators are my manager and like my friend Echo and Bob. I think those are like literally the only ones. And usually I think besides Kevin, the rest of them aren't usually here as often. Especially with my streams mostly being in the morning. Like, I don't stream in the afternoon like we are now. Or yesterday, either.
Like you're going to every week now?
Yeah. What is it? It's gonna be like every Wednesday, isn't it? And I guess technically every Thursday, depending on when... Yeah, until like schedules clear up, but... Honestly, it still might be Wednesdays and Thursdays for me until, like, I bid for another schedule, which I have no idea when that's happening.
Yeah. My sleep schedule. No.
Honestly, as long as my shit doesn't drastically change, like, I have to close over the weekend now, which isn't that bad. As long as it doesn't fucking change to me having to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, I should be fine. I just have to use the bathroom. Ew. I'll be right back. I have to go pee.
Oh, I'm in charge. Gumster, you let Zuck get the health pack. Gumster!
Oh wait, this is the wrong... There we go. We're in a coffee shop now.
Yippee. I did a battle while you were gone.
Oh, Zuck won.
Oh.
I actually need to like set up my stream avatars. I gotta test it out actually. Stream avatars usually works fine on my computer, but I gotta test it out to make sure.
They're the first thing that'll start lagging if like I drop frames.
Oh yeah, honestly, that's the only reason why I haven't had them up. I mean, it's usually okay. But you never, honestly, you never know with stuff from Steam, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, do you have any questions for me? Like,
I feel like I asked them along the way.
Yeah. And then the random one about art.
Yeah, and then the random one about art.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, why do you want me to talk about art? We're not talking about that at all. It's completely changing the subject.
Because it crossed my mind.
I actually have to
Because I
show
need
you,
someone...
like... You need someone to rant about art.
Yeah, to rant about YCHs and, like, having to read terms and singing the terms that they can't draw your character and just be like, ugh.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think I have them on my PC. Or do I? I think I do. Let me look. I gotta look-sees. I think I have like the 3 things. No, this is like screenshots. This is not my folder full of stuff. Oh yeah, it was like this. It was this one. I guess that's that one in general. I guess technically there was like an art raffle that I had won, and they kind of made me a little pale. But it was free, so I don't think I cared that much.
You're like, can I complain?
Yeah, I was like, I can't really say much. It was free. If I decide not to show it, it's okay. I think those are like the 2 drastically bad ones. But I suppose the first one isn't that bad, but the second one.
Damn. You're so red.
and that second one, yeah.
You're like you're more red than you are fucking anything.
Yeah, I've actually went back to this person, and they actually do a better job now with my skin tone. Like I was honestly expecting the same results, but they actually have done better. Surprisingly.
You know, in the first one, you just look a little sick.
Not the sick.
Yeah, you look a little sick. Like flushed.
Yeah, these were like the earlier pieces of art. My stuff now, it actually looks more in tune to me. But I usually don't really go to like the artists that like don't do it correctly anymore.
Yeah.
Besides the one person who did like that bakery one. They've actually been doing me correctly, so I actually don't mind going back to them.
Let me see.
Like the one where I looked
reference sheet where I was like, I want androgyny, and then I was given.
Like I guess it looks androgynous, but like not at the same time.
I think the only thing giving it androgyny is like the hair.
Yeah. Cause I could it could like represent as like a female. They're just like not curvy. But like other than that, yeah. But I don't think it's a bad ref. But
it's not a bad ref. It was just like when I like sent that to people and I was like, I'm masculine. They were like, "Are you? Are you?"
Honestly,
sure?
I don't even know if I have my old ref. Because mine was... It was something.
I have old stuff. Lurking in the shadows.
Is this even mine? Oh yeah, it was this one. This is honestly probably why people always drew me like so fucking light-skinned. Because I couldn't... At the time, I couldn't find like anything that was like super... I couldn't do much about like my character sheet at the time because I didn't have the money to do so. It's how it used. That's how it used to be until I finally got like an official one.
Even in that like ref, you're still darker than you are in both of the art pieces you sent me.
Yeah, I feel like with those, they don't do like the lighting correctly. I mean, I feel like with the first one it's okay, but the second one,
No,
now that I
just
look
like
at
Jerry.
it, yeah, I'm Lissa fucking Jerry with like a purple hair.
That apron's putting in work.
And... Oh no, you should get hit with something.
I did.
Yeah, the apron is putting in a lot of work because I'm surprised that my boobies are still holding in there.
Dude, it's a treacherous fucking. That's treacherous as fuck. You know what I also find funny though about like YCHs and like getting them done like for like female VTubers?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen a VTuber whose cup size stays the same in every art piece. I'm sorry,
No,
but it's so true. Look at your cup
no,
size
no.
the first one versus the second one.
Oh no, I completely understand.
Them's not the same tits.
Yeah, I put some balloons between my titties in the second one.
I don't even know if implants that big are illegal in the second one.
Nah, people will do anything as long as the doctor can get their money. So yeah, they probably exist. It just depends on whether they're a legit doctor or are they actually putting cement in your titties.
True. Heckin' yawn.
Yeah, now that I'm looking like through my art, it honestly just depends on the artist. Sometimes people will draw me. I'll still have some boobies, but like I think the biggest they'll be is like maybe like a B or a C. And you got other artists who do like D through H.
Gotta find that artist that specializes in back pain.
Yes. Oh my god. I have some Halloween art in my these are definitely F-sides boobs. I didn't ask for it, but they did it anyway, and I liked it, so I didn't care.
Nice.
But honestly, I think that might be it. We've been going on for it's almost been 3 hours. Not yet, but it's almost been 3.
Hello, motherfucker.
I'm good to call it whenever you are.
I have to watch. Ah, God, there's love.
Oh, I saw you jiggle.
They've beaten me with love.
They've beaten you. Chaos Pigeon is here.
Yeah, the
Pigeon
savage
always,
pigeon.
Yeah, Pigeon always announces thyself by hitting you with aggressive love and then checking in after.
Oh, well, thank you for your daily coffee. We got what? Vanilla coffee.
Ooh, I don't know what that means. Wow.
It's like a special type of coffee that you can get. I think it might be from South America. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to look actually.
Well.
Oh, it's rich coffee with whipped cream on top. That's basically what it is.
Well, do you have anyone to raid?
I actually need to keep streaming because I am about to watch the Game Awards.
I see a lot of people doing that. Well, then I'll send everyone your way.
Yeah, if you want to. I don't mind. If anyone wants to see the Gaming Awards, I'm not going to know a lick of games besides Marvel Rivals.
Drew! I'll send them your way. Any final words?
I would like to thank everyone who decided to come around and hang out and ask questions for the not part 2, the second episode of the Coffee Date. And I appreciate you signing up and coming along.
Yeah, I'll sign up a second and third time. Don't worry, I got you. Detective Truffles interrogation date. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we can have an episode where we rant about the Minecraft days, the Minecraft roleplay days.
Oh my god! A My Street watch party?
Honestly, I would do that.
Dude. Make it a milestone, like once we hit so many follows.
I would do that.
Hit so many follows. Once Astral Forest reaches.
Yeah, me and Truffles will like do like a watch party of all the Minecraft roleplays.
I guess we should promote that.
We probably could. Oh yeah, so like me and Truffles are part of the Astral Forest. It's a VTuber team. with like
Yeah,
friends.
you have like 20 seconds, by the way, before they get sent. So.
Oh, Ari, no, Naomi, Crow, me, and Truffles are in it. We all bad bitches, so you should go and follow the Astral Cafe, the Astral Forest.
We all bad bitches. Follow both of
Yeah.
our socials. We have 10 seconds. Join the Discord. We're going to Tyria. Bye-bye, I'll buy it.
I mean, if you want to join my Discord, you could as well. !Discord. You know what? I should probably.
Welcome, readers.
Oh my god.
Choose your fate. Watch the show or watch the show. Thank you.
Done such thing.
I wonder who these people are. Well, I guess I could introduce myself, even though you guys were literally here for 2 hours.
Yeah. Now it's your turn in the hot seat. Round 2. Who are you?
Hi everyone, I'm Tyria. I'm a space LV tuber who runs a gaming cafe. And I play games like Rivals and Minecraft and Peak and Repo and other stuff.
Tyria's gonna fix my Rivals one day so we can stream it together.
Yeah, because we need to figure out what the fuck is wrong with yours.
I don't know. I want to stream it so bad. I want to.
Yeah. If you need a healer, I can literally be any healer besides Luna, Cloak and Dagger, and Adam. And a Loki. Be any but those 4. Thank you for the head pat.
Healer, but I am on the road to lording Emma and Squirrel Girl, so I have a lord like goal for each whatchamacallit, like class, so I can fill, you know. So I'm like,
I gotta
lord for what's the new guy's name?
Gambit.
Yeah. So he's my current support lord because I just finished Mantis, so I'm going for either Gambit if we need a support, Squirrel Girl if we need damage, or Emma if we need a tank. So I'll play anything if I could get my game to work.
Honestly, I want to see that, like, maybe your next support thing should be Invisible Woman. She has a fun kit.
I do play her sometimes. I just really like I just like playing off heals, really. That's why I did Mantis first. I'm a DPS healer, and Gambit does good damage.
I gotta learn Gambit. People always like pick him like right off the bat, so I just end up like playing another role.
He has a lot going for him, but he's fun once you figure it out. He has like a steep learning curve because he has like the damage deck and then the healing deck, and then each deck has a different ability, and it's a lot to learn, but he is fun.
Then it's all like cures all ults if you're trapped in it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not his ult.
His ult like gives you like increased ult charge and then also like speed and heals. It's really good, but it's like it only activates in front of you, so it's only the people who are in front of you get hit by it.
Yeah, and I got a Rogue came out I think today. No, she comes out tomorrow. If it wasn't today, it's tomorrow. And she's a tank. I'm glad that she's not a fucking DPS. Because there's, like, too many DPS.
So basically, you gotta fix my Rivals soon so we can play the new update.
Yeah, because, like, honestly, if you haven't been on recently, there's just been, for, like, the anniversary, there's been giving away a ton of free shit.
I haven't been on. My friend said I played it with got rid of it because they ran out of space, and we're going through Baldur's Gate right now, so I have no one to play with.
Oh, well, I'm always down to play if I am not busy.
Yippee! Tune in next time where we stream troubleshooting my Rivals.
Yeah.
Or a Minecraft Diaries watch party.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember, like, the first episodes, it was always so fucking cringy, but I kept watching them anyway.
Dude. I can't.
Not because you didn't have actors, like, when she first started, it was just NPCs.
NPCs.
Yes.
Remember the Romeo and Juliet episode? That was, like, one of the first ones that had, like, actual actors.
Oh god, I think I do remember,
and,
but, like, it's been so long.
Gareth and someone kissed on stage on accident.
Wasn't Lawrence? It was Garth and Lawrence, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And that's when the ship, that's when the ship like manifested.
Remember when Aaron was actually fucking edgy, and then in the later series he just wasn't?
Yeah, he's just an insecure furball now.
Yeah, well, that's the stream.
Yeah.
Kiri's gonna watch the Gamer Awards, and I'm gonna go pee.
It was nice hanging out with you. We need to do this again.
Hey, I'll apply again. Don't test me.
Honestly, just round 2.
Fight. I'll have celiac disease this time.
Yeah, we'll have to do that sometime. I can't wait till this gets edited. It's gonna be funny.
Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm gonna steal it. I just put my boss. I don't edit shit. Be like,
Honestly,
edit my content.
Honestly, I think Kevin just like puts music in the background and just cuts out like any dead air. I try my best not to have too much dead air. Between each stream.
I think physically I could edit like VODs if I wanted to. I just don't want to, you know?
That's so understandable.
But alas, I shall flee and leave you to your reward or awards.
Alright, thank you so much.
Yeah, have fun. No one die.
Yeah, hopefully no one dies. No one get ragey about your game not winning either.
Yeah, true.